area is under a tornado watch right now, which means the conditions are rife for a tornado to form. Tom said yesterday, Stephanie said yesterday, as we take a look at the radar right here, that whatever we experienced yesterday, it was going to be just a prelude to today. So far, we have seen some light rain in the area, but you see the radar moving through toward our area here. Now, the humidity, I would argue, a little bit higher today than it was yesterday. You can certainly feel it. That afternoon, early afternoon rain, late morning rain did provide some reprieve. But now we're waiting to see the system that is moving in our way. So again, under a tornado watch right now. And that's why we're on with you on the live desk here. And we're going to stay on. We're going to take as many pictures around as we can, show you the storm as it approaches here. But right now, it's just a cloudy, overcast day in downtown Milwaukee.
Well, and if you go to the FOX6 Weather app, I really do. I know we have to tout it, but I love it. I check it early and often as I joke. According to the FOX6 Storm Center app, we are under a flood watch as well. We obviously have our eyes set on that tornado watch, but we also are concerned now about flooding. Hard to imagine that because we have been so dry. Remember, not that long ago, Ted, we were talking about the lawns crunchy. We were in a drought, concerned about farmers and the welfare of our economy. But also now we're at a flood watch until 11 p.m. If you look at the radar as well, before the weather experts jump on, it sounds at this point like some of the heaviest rain will be coming in at about 4 to 5 o'clock in that hour. 5 o'clock, perfect timing, right for rush hour. So if you or somebody that you know is at work, you may want to scoot out a little early or stay a little late, depending on your preference, whatever you prefer, because it sounds like it'll be starting right about that hour, but maybe trickling off again right around 7:30, saying moderate thunderstorm ends in that. So that window is kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah, 4 to 9 is what Tom was saying yesterday on late newscast, and we're going to see if that's changed a little bit. But 77 degrees right now at 2:39, and we're with you here. And this is really where we're going to try to give you the most weather information. On the broadcast side, on Fox 6 right now, it's the World Cup, as you may or may not know. The first game is being played. Mexico up 1-0 over South Africa right now. And we're taking a live look. This is going to be fun to watch during the run of the World Cup, Mary. This is the camera we have down at the Nomad cam on Brady, which is really a soccer bar. There are many great soccer bars in the city, don't get me wrong, but the Nomad really builds up World Cup coverage every 4 years, and they really make a spectacle of it in a good way. And you're looking there, you see a lot of green jerseys, a lot of Mexico backers there today.
Oh, certainly. And this thing is getting so much momentum. I'm just starting today, and tomorrow, of course, the U.S. plays. So I'm just assuming you can take that crowd and triple it because it is supposed to be a nice day, a warm day, and a time to celebrate.
Well, that game will be on a Friday night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
So,
tomorrow this is going to be packed. People will get there early and stay late for sure. So
threat of severe weather will have been over by then. So it's going to be like we haven't. Wednesday night plans were ruined. I don't know what the status of Jazz in the Park is tonight. We need to check on that. We'll wait. I want to say anything until we get it actually confirmed. So we're going to be checking on that. But there was a music performance at State Fair Park last night. The band Cherry Pie was supposed to play. They have this outdoor series in the pavilion every Wednesday night. There's live music everywhere, every night around here in the summer, and it's unfortunate that they had to postpone last night's. So we're going to try to check on that for you for Jazz in the Park and other things. But Little League games canceled last night. Softball games out. Volleyball leagues are so popular. All of them scrapped for safety purposes, and it might be the very same way tonight. That's what we're waiting to see.
Well, we try to get everything in. Obviously, we just have a short window for summer. So, Chill on the Hill, they were able to get that in Thursday before that fog rolled in. But, nothing is official, but it certainly would not be an ideal night to be in Cathedral Square there listening to music. So, again, nothing official, but at this point, things are not looking good. Tomorrow, the sun will return, and that is the really good news. You know what amazes me about our coverage yesterday, Ted, as you saw so much damage, particularly in Horicon, but the response about the resilience to try to get buildings back open, the roof that we saw there repaired, as you can see there, that just took the brunt of the damage right there. And that building, as we pointed out yesterday, a lot of buildings in Horicon, an older city, really sturdy. As bad as that looks, we're happy that not more damage was done. And at this point, at least, we have not heard of any severe injuries.
Well, look at what has been revealed there. Look at the left side of your screen and the wood, that wood that has been used. These buildings are sturdy. I have an old home. My home was built in the late 1800s, so I know the inside of these buildings. The joist in many homes, they're 2x4s. Now mine's a 2x6s. Those are 2x6s. Those are solid frames.
Yes.
The roof over time, maybe it weakened, maybe it lessened, maybe the April, they were hit in April pretty hard as well with some tornadoes in that area. So maybe the structure of those roofs were a little bit lessened in terms of strength. And yesterday was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. But we're so lucky, only one person hurt, one of the residents there who lives above one of the stores in those historic buildings, hit by a flying brick, but told our Sam Kramer that she was okay, going to be just fine. But this is video taken by two young women who are on their way to the veterinary clinic yesterday, and they could just see, look at this. This is the roof from the wind shears that were just, and again, Sam Kramer pointed this out a lot, and it's a good point to make out. This wasn't a tornado warning yesterday. This was a thunderstorm warning.
Yes.
And so don't go, meh, when it comes to just a thunderstorm warning. That's a dangerous attitude to take.
Definitely. And it was, we talked to those girls, and it was amazing that we want people to be safe. We do appreciate the pictures you stay in, but safety is always a major concern there. So, again, we can't tell you enough to take these things seriously, and this is why we do our wall-to-wall coverage. But, you just see that roof blown off the building, again, in Horicon and Dodge County taking such a brunt of things. We also had seen some damage. Christina Van Zelst was out and about and saw a tree lifted, and I was trying to think of where the cars were, Ted. We saw a car that it looked as though the tree maybe just missed the top of the car. We weren't able to tell on the angle that we had last night, but we saw at least two cars in Kenosha that were consumed by trees and just going right down. Forget about it, being crushed. And not only that, look at the Beaver Dam there, the old barn there, the Culver's barn, so to speak, saying thank you. And it was great to hear the owner saying, we're just going to rebuild.
Yeah, that's Michael Zimmerman, who's owned that barn since 1976. It's been a Culver barn, he calls it, for more than a decade. It's a bright blue barn. It features the phrase, thank you, farmers. And Zimmerman said the barn was damaged after a tornado touched down in April, and then yesterday was just kind of the final blow. He was at home at the time of the storm. His neighbor told him that winds reached more than 85 miles an hour in the area. He said the barn was supposed to get repainted next month, but he's hoping he can get back to the same spot. It's such an iconic thing. I have to think, and I don't want to spend Craig Culver's money here, okay? It's not my place. I have to think Culver's is going to chip in a little something here. They're so known for being part of communities. And there's another Culver's barn. You go, isn't there another one? Yeah, there is in Mineral Point. And then outside of Wisconsin, there's one in Greenfield, Indiana, and one in Argenta, Illinois, which I'm not even sure where Argenta, Illinois is. I have not heard of that town. But it's just their way of thanking farmers, because Culver's buying all the local products that they can. Obviously, you're making custard, you're going to try to use Wisconsin products as much as you can, for sure.
Mr. Zimmerman said they were insured, so there was no doubt that they would be rebuilding that with hopefully some insurance help. Let's take you over to right now, Elmira, because that's where, I believe that's where Christina Van Zelst was,
indeed,
where we saw all of that damage. Let's start there with the roof that was just ripped off an apartment building, and that was even more harrowing to hear some of the tales, if you will, of survival. Christina talked to a neighbor and a mother who did not want to go on camera, a neighbor of the mother, and this mother who shielded her baby. They were in this apartment complex, and as you can imagine how she felt, she has a young baby or a little baby, and she was able to protect the baby and herself. Luckily, they were not hurt. Again, she was too shaken to go on camera, but Christina was able to talk to her and a neighbor who said he had heard what had happened, and they were just all working together to make sure that they were okay, finding a place to stay that night because so many of them, everybody had to leave that building. There was a relocation center. The American Red Cross, as always, stepped in to say that they were providing an overnight shelter that was open for residents and pets impacted by the storm. But when you see those images and you hear that it's just absolutely heartbreaking. But the good news is, again, no major injuries despite all of that damage that you see there. So Lomira is hopefully looking at just a quiet night for them, because the Mary Lane apartments that we just showed you right there in the 3rd Street apartments, that people had to leave. We do not know if they were allowed back in the apartment today. At least 14 people who were in that apartment complex, at least 14 were not able to stay last night. So if they didn't take advantage of the shelter, hopefully they had friends and family that they could turn to for assistance there. So exactly, you know, we look at the damage there in Lomira and look at the trees coming down, and you've got to think that's going to be days and days of cleanup.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. It's possible to show the aerial map of Lomira again, or the aerial shots that we had from Skyfox. I know that was on that loop before, but here's the thing. Look at these guys. They're working hours, not hours, minutes after that roof blew off. They got people there, but you can look inside. It's almost like a dollhouse, Mary, as you look inside these homes. And one of the shots, and we didn't see it there per se, but we did, it really struck me last night, the bed was perfectly made. The roof was ripped off. It exposed a bedroom, and the bedding perfectly done, as if somebody had just got ready for company.
Yeah.
And yet the roof is ripped off, and the bed, not a wrinkle.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how there's one of those shots. I mean, look, you just got shelving, and there are things on the shelves, and that's not the shot, but one of these, you'll see what I'm talking about here, and you just get a glimpse into the lives and what wasn't disrupted. And what was. And a whole roof came off. An entire roof came off. And yet there are things on bookshelves that were not destroyed or tossed to the ground. And I find it just remarkable. It's almost scalpel-like precision on behalf of this storm to just come in and take off the roof like that.
But then what protects, like the bed, as you said? You know, that's something that our weather experts can answer, but that is, it just seems remarkable there. We are going to take a break as we leave you with those images, of course, and we're just looking at updates here as far as when this rain will start again. We had a downburst a little earlier, I know, as I was heading into work, but things were dried. It's not going to stay that way. It sounds like the worst is yet to come, so to speak. We do need to take a quick break and come back in. We'll check on the precision of this forecast, when it will start, when it's expected to end, and give you the rest of the tools that you need to know to get through this. Glad to have you with us this Thursday afternoon here on Fox Local. Our storm coverage continues. We'll take a quick break and come right back.
And welcome back to Fox Local and our continuing coverage of day 2 of storms that are coming across southeastern Wisconsin. We survived yesterday. It was exactly kind of the day our weather experts said it would be, and now we're waiting to see exactly where this storm system takes us today.
Yeah, very similar to yesterday. The big difference today, I noticed, Tom, is that humidity. Yesterday we stayed relatively cool, and I asked you why, because the heat indices, I know, were up there past 90, but today you certainly felt that oppressive heat. So what's the difference? Can we start with the heat, or do you want to start with the watch?
Sure. So we don't have a ton of heat, but there's a lot of humidity, guys.
Right.
And we had that rain come through, right? So let's break this down here. So first of all, we had the storms come through this afternoon. Now let me show you the tornado watch, because you'll notice here this does not include Milwaukee at this time. That may change. But at this point, because of the storms that came through in part, the instability may stay strongest down to the south. That is the unknown. So what the Storm Prediction Center has decided to do here is just include our southern counties. All right, Racine, Kenosha, Walworth. However, if it looks like the severe weather is going to nudge north, the National Weather Service in Sullivan has the authority to add Milwaukee, Racine, or Milwaukee, Waukesha, Jefferson, whoever else needs to be added to the watch. So they're kind of playing it safe right now, but if it looks like it's going to nudge north, then Milwaukee will be added in. So this does not mean that Milwaukee is in the clear. Okay, so now let's take a look at what's going on. We've got some rain in our western communities, but we do have the storms down to the southwest of us right now. So let me go ahead and I'm going to zoom this out for you here, and look at all the lightning with this. This is the next round. This is the severe round that is developing. Now, you'll notice upon the track of this that we're going to be on the northern edge, right? So you're going to have a line that's just starting in Illinois, and we're going to be right on the edge. Time frame here is probably about 5 to 7 p.m., somewhere in that range, okay? And that includes the Chicagoland area as well. So it's going to be a mess all across the board. But the question becomes, do the strongest storms come into Milwaukee? Do they stay a little south? Do they stay along the border? So location is one question, all right? Severity is the second question. And I've had some viewers asking me, well, wait a minute. If we're not sunny and 90 right now, how are we worried about severe weather? Isn't that usually a heat and humidity, extreme kind of a day? Yes. However, the wind shear in the atmosphere, combined with the lifting and the jet stream winds, for example, are offsetting the fact that we don't have the intense heat. All right, so there are other atmospheric phenomena at play to make these storms strong. And the wind shear is such that we could have strong tornadoes with this. That could be along the border. It could be in Illinois. It could be farther north towards Milwaukee. We don't know that quite yet until this continues to evolve. But again, this is a dangerous setup. It is a dangerous severe weather setup because of that wind shear, because of that lift, even with the cloud cover around. All right? So even if you're not under the tornado watch, you really need to be watching closely, especially the closer you live to the Illinois border, because this really could be dangerous. By 9 o'clock tonight, we're done as the cold front comes through. Let me turn the lightning off on this, and we'll go more to the local radar on this as well. So you'll notice, first of all, there's the tornado watch, and it's a big one. I mean, this encompasses a good chunk of Illinois here. And again, this is in effect until 9 o'clock. Now let's take you more to the localized radar, because look at how everything is coming together. There are no warnings on this as of yet. However, I think that's going to change. And what's interesting here to me, and I'm analyzing this on the fly with you, you'll notice this is intense. It's all intense. Now, the concern that I have just looking at this is there are a couple, the models are kind of indicating the strongest cells may have yet to develop, even on the backside of this. So we'll see how that goes. But one of my concerns is kind of like last night, if we end up in this curl zone, all right, there's almost a little natural rotation here that if this gets stronger and it moves in this direction, that could potentially enhance tornado potential as well. It depends on exactly the form that this takes. And I think that there are a couple of possibilities here. Like yesterday afternoon, we could end up with a big line of storms that comes through. Number two, we could have linear storms with embedded tornadoes in it. So straight line winds and tornadoes. I think that's the most likely option. I think those are the real two main options that we have here when it comes to how this is going to look. But again, it's on the way. It's developing. It's not severe yet, but I mean, this is going to be here within the next 2 to 3 hours, and it's going to be out fairly quickly as well. I would say, you know, by 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we're done with this. So it's a very narrow window, but again, the wind shear here is significant, and that leads to the concerns that we have. Now, I've gotten so many calls from my nieces today because everyone's going to the Mumford & Sons concert at Wrigley in Chicago tonight. Personal opinion, I don't think it's happening. I would be willing to bet you they cancel it because I don't know how they get that in with the magnitude of storms that are heading in the direction of Chicago. So if you have family and friends heading in that direction, do keep in mind that it's very possible that that concert does get canceled down there in Chicago. But again, you know, just to reiterate here, the tornado watch is in effect until 9 o'clock tonight for our southern counties, but the National Weather Service has the authority to add more. And it'll be interesting because the northern edge of that kind of appears to be at least heading into our southern counties, if not a bit north. So it's very much within the realm of possibility here that we see the tornado watch extended up to the north to include Milwaukee and Madison along the I-94 corridor. So that's, again, kind of what we're watching for at this point. But as of right now, no warnings in effect with this line. Yes, the morning batch of rain often can help keep storms weaker, but as I mentioned, the dynamics of the atmosphere coming into play here will keep these storms getting stronger, not weaker. So it's a concern, and it's certainly something that we're obviously going to be watching very, very closely here. And I know we're coming up to the top of the hour, and Ted and Mary, if we want to do kind of a reset here to just kind of go over everything that we're looking at and watching, let me know, guys, if you want to do that, and we can certainly just kind of do a quick reboot here right at 3 o'clock. So right now we're fine. Everything is good, but things are going to get a little bit dicey coming up. I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay. Hi, guys. We'll bring you back in here as well. I know here we are now at the top of the hour at 3 o'clock. If we want to do just a little bit of a reset here.
But why don't we do that?
Yeah.
Why don't we just say people are tuning in at 3. They don't know what's going on. They want to know where we are. So we know what happened yesterday. Why don't we take a big step back and go, where are we on day 2? What are your concerns? What's the path of this thing? Are your instincts and your calculations still what they were last night?
Very good questions. And again, we are live here on Fox Local. So yes and yes, in that yesterday we had a squall line of thunderstorms come through, and we had the intense wind damage in spots. That system different than this system, two very separate systems. Today, we had thunderstorms come through midday. Those are gone. We still have the clouds around. However, the strongest part of this system, which is a cold front that's going to be coming through, has yet to come through. And that is coming through within the next 3-4 hours. There is a tornado watch in effect for our southern counties, Walworth, Racine, and Kenosha in our areas until 9 o'clock tonight. It's possible that areas to the north get added into that depending on the exact track. Now, let's take a look at this. We are looking good at the moment. However, as we broaden the view out here, you'll notice, I'm going to turn the lightning off on this as well. You will notice that the storms are developing off to the west. So this is the concern area. But notice here, and this is what's going to be interesting, it's kind of a blob of storms. And you guys know I kind of analyze on the fly, right? So I'm analyzing this as we're looking at it together. Yes, we have more rain coming in. This is not severe at this point. This is strengthening down here in Illinois. That's going to miss us down to the south. But look at this. You see this line back closer to Cedar Rapids. And the models have been showing the stronger storms on the backside of this, unlike yesterday when the strongest of the winds were on the front side. And one of the reasons why is because the lift with this, and I know I've been talking a lot about this lifting, right? So let me explain that a little bit. So we have a cold front, number one, that's going to come through. What does a cold front do? The winds come together. They converge. Well, when winds come together at the surface, where do they go? Well, they can't go into the ground, right? So they go up. And when air rises, you get showers and thunderstorms. So that lift is maximized in the vicinity of the cold front, but then you still need to have the atmosphere working to lift that air up. And the jet stream, think of it like an engine. The jet stream is a critical part of that, which we did not have yesterday. So we have strong jet stream winds at 30,000 feet. That is creating divergence, or air moving apart, at 30,000 feet. So think about that for a minute. You have air coming together at the surface, air coming apart at 30,000 feet. It's the perfect engine for air to rise and then diffuse effectively up at 30,000 feet. So when you have a jet stream in place like we do today, that's indicative of the potential for very strong thunderstorms, especially combined with high dew points as we have. And when you talk about the wind shear, and that's really important because wind shear is the changing of wind direction or wind speed with height. And I mentioned this last night, that if you were to get into a hot air balloon right now, the winds would be coming in more out of the southerly direction at the surface, but then they start to twist. It would blow you around in different directions the higher up you go. And the wind would get stronger the higher up you go. That's called directional shear and speed shear. And because we have that in place, these storms can start spinning. And that is a concern for hail and for strong winds and for tornadoes. So that's giving you sort of the atmospheric ingredients, the atmospheric stew, so to speak, right, that we're cooking in the kitchen, that everything is coming together here for this. The question mark is the exact location, because you'll notice this line here is going to go towards Chicago. That second line, we don't know yet. This is a little more mushy, all right, southwest of Madison. We'll see if that kind of takes hold a little bit more. There's a warm front snaking through this area as well, which is another critical component. So as of now, the thinking is northern Illinois gets it harder than we do in southern Wisconsin. But one county could make all the difference. So that we don't know at this point. So again, just to kind of wrap all of that up here, is the conditions are primed to be very dangerous. The question is the location. Is it Illinois? Is it southern Wisconsin? As of this moment, it's trending a little south into Illinois. However, there is a possibility that we could end up seeing the storms nudging just a little bit farther to the north as we go into the next couple of hours or so. As we head towards the evening hours. And that's what we're going to be watching for here as we go into the night. So hopefully that makes a little sense. Let me pull up the warnings here, guys. And what you'll notice, the watches and warnings, is that we've got the watch in effect, but no warnings at this point. So that is good news. But again, things are starting to increase in coverage. And that is something that we're going to continue to see here as we go over the course, of the next couple of hours to see exactly what happens here. We're taking a live look out at Dubuque, Iowa right now, and they are right on the edge of one of these storms. And we'll see if we catch any lightning out of that, because there's quite a bit of lightning in the region. And again, what's interesting now, again, as I'm looking at this, right, I'm going, boy, look at all of the low cloudiness here, right? That screams to me high dew points, just right off the bat. I look at that and go, yeah, it's cloudy, high dew points. Now, I'll tell you this, there's a flood watch in effect for us as well, which I want to mention, and that's because all the moisture that's in the air. Now, our current dew point in Milwaukee is 66, And the current dew point in Juneau is 70 with partly cloudy skies. So there has been some thinning in the cloud cover here as well. And of note, just speaking of flooding, Dubuque is under a flash flood warning right now, as emergency management out there has reported flash flooding that was just issued within the last 10 minutes out for Dubuque. So this is also something heading in our direction. So it's not just the severe weather and tornadic threat, but it's also the flash flooding threat that we are contending with as well. So we've got to watch for all of that as we go throughout the night. Now, just want to give you guys some more updates here. I'm checking in with the National Weather Service. Just getting, let's see here. Okay, so National Weather Service is saying just enough destabilization making it to the state line counties to support some severe potential after 4 p.m. If this verifies, they don't really see a need for a northward watch extension into Milwaukee. That would be good, right? I mean, that would be very good if the worst of the weather stays down to our south. Now, on that note, we just got an update from the Storm Prediction Center, and I will show this to you here. And this is the moderate risk area, the level 4, that really hasn't changed a whole lot. The main tornado area remains in northern Illinois. You kind of, we're on the edge of that moderate risk. But again, we just have to be very careful here. We have to be very, very careful when it comes to this because weird things can happen. The atmosphere is primed for tornadic development. In fact, let me see if I can pull up here. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can pull up the tornado potential graphic, which typically, again, we don't show this, but I think that this would be a good representation of this here. Let's see if I can pull this up for you, because I think it would give a very interesting look here. Here we go. I'm going to pull this up for you. So again, you're looking at the radar here, and that is what we're watching off to the west. And again, give me just a minute to kind of pull this up, because I think this is going to be a kind of more of a better idea here of what to expect. So sorry, just give me 1 second.
That's fine, Tom. Well, as you do that, you do what you need to do. I'm just going to let our viewers know Mary and I were talking a few moments ago about Jazz in the Park.
Oh, yes, tonight.
Still on. Just
Okay.
got word that it is still on, and I'm promised if that changes, they will let us know. But what do you know that they don't know? You seem surprised by that.
A little bit. I mean, it's going to be, even if we don't get severe weather, it's going to be soggy tonight. You know what I mean? So I hope they get it in, right? Like, you hate to see that canceled, but I would just have to imagine it's going to be too wet for it.
Okay.
This is that significant tornado parameter, as we call it. Again, I'm pulling back the layers a little bit. But if you'll notice here, you see the purple area? Very, very high. So what this is computer modeling that takes into a bunch of accounts different parameters of where we could see strong tornadoes. And you can see, based upon this model, it's in southern Wisconsin. Now, could be in northern Illinois. But one of the reasons, guys, why we're making such a big deal about this is because where tornadoes happen today, they could be EF2 or greater. So we could be talking about strong tornadoes where, not only are we talking tornadoes, but we can kind of peel the layers back a little bit more. And based upon data like this, that is showing us that these tornadoes could be strong. And that goes back to the science we talked about a few minutes ago of the wind shear and that sort of a thing. So, that I just wanted to illustrate that here as well, because again, there is a concern, should we be in that tornado zone after 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon and evening. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back right here on Fox Local in 2 minutes with more for you. You are watching live weather coverage on Wisconsin Live Desk on Fox Local.
Welcome back to Fox Local. We're going wall to wall on the weather coverage here, but we need to give you some information about a verdict that was just reached in the Kevin Lyshik trial in Waukesha County. Mary?
The verdict finding the 63-year-old guilty on both counts of first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. That first charge comes with a mandatory life sentence. Took the jury really about an hour only to deliberate.
Less.
Less
They got it at 2 and they were back by 2:45.
45 minutes, yeah. To deliberate after about 4 days of the witness testimony. Lyshik there representing himself in the trial and chose not to testify in his own defense that he shot and killed his neighbor Carlos Maldonado in the head back in April of 2024.
He was disruptive throughout the trial, kept calling it a travesty, kept saying it never should have gone to trial. The judge was extremely patient with Lyshik, sometimes sending the jury out to say, hey, look, this is on. You got a tummy ache? Too bad. You got a headache? Too bad. We're moving on. Extremely disruptive. It was curious to see if he was going to try a stunt where he put himself on the witness stand. That would have been bonkers. But as it stands now, Lyshik convicted, yet to be sentenced, but at 63, he will die in prison. So that case done for now. Just wanted to get on the board with that.
Yeah,
let you know we've been covering it all week. Yeah, I'm sorry, when?
Sentencing is August 20th on that. So.
Okay. Got to imagine that he will be put away for the rest of his life when that happens. We want to check in with Sam Kramer. Is Sam ready? Sam was a rock star for us in Horicon yesterday, and so we're going to see if he can do it again. Is he with us?
Yeah. Oh, great. There he is. Hi, Sam. Tell us where you are today.
Hello.
I saw you late in the station last night coming back, and it looks like you are primed and ready for more severe weather coverage. You look like a kid at his first day of school. You've done your homework. You got your brand new threads on, smile in your face, and I bet you got a lunch packed, and it's a good one.
Why would there be homework on the first day of school?
It's in the back.
Well, yeah, he's prepared.
Oh, prepared to do it.
Prepared
He's
to-
going to walk in and go,
Yeah.
can we have some homework?
I didn't do a
Yeah.
summer slide.
He
No,
was- he was-
not
he
me.
was- he
I
was
read,
that- he was
read
totally that
books and I
type.
did my math tables and.
All right, what do you got, Sam? What are you doing?
Hi, you guys. Yeah, first thing I'd say is coffee is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
We left the station, a little earlier than 2:45. And let me show you where we are. Just almost barely to the southern edge of Milwaukee. There's a decent amount of traffic on I-43. So where are we headed? We are headed to Kenosha because you just heard from Tom. Sounds like the strongest threat is going to be right around the border. There's a chance it could cross the border. To be frank with you, I'm hoping it doesn't. But if it does, we will be there and be ready to, just focus on people, focus on what is happening. Hopefully there is no damage that we have to focus on like we did yesterday in Horicon, and really just hoping whatever happens that no one gets hurt. But this is just to kind of detail you our process. We had, as we do every day, editorial meeting at 2 o'clock where we hear from our meteorologists. They kind of map out where this thing is going to go, just as they did in all of our programming, whether it's here on Fox Local or on the air. And we use that strategically to get into place. The biggest thing, we're making this drive now to find a safe place to go and be. That way, when it is safe for us to, if we have to hunker down, we can hunker down, and then when it's safe for us to emerge, we will do so and be readily available. Because we know that in situations like this, time is of the essence, and everybody needs information as soon as possible. So, yeah, it's a road trip. Photojournalist Tim Primo and I working together today, not in our decked out weather vehicle. Holly Baker will have that for you shortly, but our manager, Cale Zimney, kind of set up basically the same thing. Just a few less bells and whistles, but this will certainly be helpful as we make our way. Again, starting in Kenosha, we'll see where the day takes us from there.
Sorry, Sam, you're heading down that way. Tom was wondering, and we're just getting information as we get to it, so I'm going to share it. Tom said his nieces were at the Mumford & Sons concert at Wrigley Field. Our affiliate, Fox 32 in Chicago, says that concert is still on. So just as we talk about the storms in that area, northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. So what impressed you most about the damage you saw in Horicon? I mean, impressed, made
I think when we, how do I say this? I think when we consider these warnings that are triggered, and I would say that I've probably been guilty of this too. You think severe thunderstorm? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, do I really need to not make that trip to the grocery store? Do I really need to stay away from the windows, that sort of thing? And talking with the folks in Horicon, it's not like, it's not that it caught them by surprise, but the strength of those straight line winds just all of a sudden turned what was a storm into something that was destructive. We pointed it out here yesterday. Those are older buildings that I'm sure that have dealt with minor issues here and there, certainly been restored.
Sure.
But it just took one really strong gust to rip off the roof of 2 or 3 of those buildings and put it right into the building across the street. And it happened so fast. I think I mentioned it too, like a month ago when we spoke with the woman who had a tornado at her rental home, that farm in Franklin. Like that, you could tell this was coming. There was a sound to it. It was also dark out, so that adds an element. Yesterday was not. It was in the middle of the day, a little bit before 4 o'clock. It's not like it was super dark out. You could see everything, and then just all of a sudden, it speaks to how drastic and perhaps how dynamic the weather can be, and why it is a challenge to forecast that way. But again, as the mayor pointed out too, and I feel like I've said it a million times, the fact that there was only one person that suffered a minor injury because of this, I think is astonishing.
Yep.
Right.
Just because that's a busy thoroughfare. Had the pieces of the roof not necessarily crossed the street, perhaps airborne, but actually fell down onto the street as trucks and cars were making their way through there, this could have been way worse.
Oh, absolutely.
And so again, that speaks to the importance of these warnings and just paying attention to what's happening and maybe what you need to do.
Yeah, and hit by a brick at that, and she's going to be okay. That's amazing. That could have gone much worse, obviously.
And that whole main stretch there on 33, which they call Lake Street there in Horicon, all the businesses shut down for the night, including Danny Boy's Pub, and it was 75-cent wing night last night. So hopefully they're open tonight for Euro Burger night on Thursday.
Well, they got to get rid of the wings. So
That's a
maybe
good
they'll
point.
do a double.
Hey, I was going to say.
That's a good point. You can't sit on the wings for a week.
No, so maybe a double out there.
But they were a source of a lot of information for us yesterday, and we want to thank them.
Yeah, great starting point. I feel like they should do 75-cent wing night tonight, maybe. Just do double special.
Yeah,
It's easy to spend other people's money.
Isn't it great?
Isn't it, you too?
Yeah,
it's
we
like,
got,
I think
we got Craig Culver's money going on.
I'm making Craig
Boys.
Culver pay for the barn, and
We can spend yours too, Sam.
Yeah.
Any offerings you'd like to give up?
Look, I'm full of ideas. Okay.
Aren't we all?
You guys know this. You guys know this.
So again, you're going because of all the calculations that our weather experts have done, saying we think, and we played our hunches yesterday, and we were right. We went to the right places early on. So kudos to Tom and Stephanie and Holly and everyone else who was working yesterday to send us to the right places. Rob, sorry, I didn't want to leave Rob and Lisa out. They sent us to the right place.
Yeah. No. Right. What you don't see. Here, what can I show you?
Please.
2 phones, right?
Yep.
Personal phone, work phone. These things are basically buzzing from now until.
Yeah. If I can't reach you on this one, the official FOX6 phone, I take my personal phone, in which you are Sam Kramer personal in this one. Same thing with Christina.
I don't think I have the personal.
Yeah, no, if I can't get you, I'm going right to his personal.
I need the bat phone, Sam. Yeah.
No, we get it.
Which to be fair is like, a parent using your middle name. Like, that's when you know, oh, boy, I better answer
Oh,
this.
trust
He's
me.
calling me on the personal phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, it's just staying in constant communication. If Tom's on the air, I can't be hitting Tom. Hey, Tom, where do I need to go? Last night it was Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell. Tonight, Stephanie Barrichello. So you may not see their faces, but they are kind of playing air traffic control to any of us and all of us that are out here.
Stephanie Barrichello, who's coming in on her off day, by the way. So, don't ever doubt the dedication of the weather experts.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, just because you don't see their face, they are involved in the back end, really just kind of to be our almost in-house, again, air traffic control, pointing us to what is safe and what is not, because as we've alluded to, it really doesn't take much to be in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get caught being in the wrong place. Whether it's your job to show people what is going on, or if you're trying to get the kids home from practice or what have you. So that is really, it's just constant communication. If it's phone calls, if it's messages, if it's instant messages, if it's emails, if it's FaceTime, we were doing that yesterday too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a constant line of communication.
And just having a plan. I mean, you grew up in Franklin. You remember the tornado drills in school. And did you and your family have a plan? Like, let's go to the basement if we do hear the siren. Back in the day, you didn't have the FOX6 Storm Center app, but you heard something.
Yeah, I can remember going into the basement and in the storage room a couple times, and certainly drills through high school and middle school and on down and such. And I mean, even last month at my house, my family had to get down into the basement as well. Like, you can't just talk about it and tell people this is what the experts recommend you should be doing if you're not doing it yourself. There's a degree of authenticity that comes with that, and practice what we preach. I mean, we showed everybody April, that look, if it's really bad, we're going to go to the basement too, and we did that, and I'm proud of us for doing that. So that is to say, there's just a lot of layers to this. It's complicated, and we're just going to do our best to show you what's going on and what you need to know and see.
And we're ready to do that again. Kudos to Chief Photojournalist Cale Zimney, who has once again set up a makeshift broadcast center down in the basement. If we all have to go down there and get out of this building and go downstairs to the basement, we'll do that. You know, we're going to practice what we preach here. We're not a bunch of hypocrites.
I like that. Did you guys bring your rain boots? Are you guys ready to get out into the field just in case?
If I'm prepared, if we have to, yes.
Now you know,
All right.
you know I got my shoe game going. Yeah, I brought snacks too. It's all I usually care about is, do I have snacks to get us through the storm? If we go to the basement, I got you covered.
You know, all the reporters have a go kit, and you think that anchors don't have a go kit. We've got a go kit ready to go too. So yeah, don't worry. If we get sent down there
Just
with
checking.
you, I'm not showing up in a suit.
No,
Okay.
Full disclosure, I have leopard print galoshes.
No one is surprised by
almost
this.
called it. Yes.
No one
They're
is
fabulous. I
surprised
can't
by
wait
this.
to break them out. Leather.
Yeah.
Leopard print galoshes. Well, Sam, thank you. We know that you are headed down there and going to get obviously some video, maybe gather some sound. Or do you have a point again where you're going to stop for newscast coming up here, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10?
I have some parking garages scoped out. That will be good places of refuge for us. So that's kind of where we're going to start. In fact, probably when I get done with you, I will probably touch base with Stephanie Barcello to say, hey, we're still thinking City of Kenosha, or should we pivot and go from there?
Sound good.
Well, you're going to be somewhere. It's coming. So we'll get you in the right spot, in the safe spot, and you'll be able to help others do the same. So, Sam, we appreciate your work last night, and a big thank you for what's about to come from you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, my friend. All right. Yeah, they are prepared.
We're going to take a little break.
Quick break.
Reset a little bit. Maybe bring in Tom or one of the other meteorologists to say, where are we in the course of this thing? Tom pointed out where it was coming, but let's check in on him in just a sec.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break here in Fox Local, but stay with us. Much more to come. There's soccer. Love soccer. And we're just saying how much we love soccer. Yeah, World Cup, you can see so many games here. I'm excited, Ted, to see the games because honestly, I've not watched a lot of soccer other than David Beckham back in the day just to see David Beckham, not going to lie.
I will admit, I'm not a regular soccer fan. Every 4 years, I sort of get into the Cup, and then if the Americans advance, I really get into it.
That's what I'm saying, right.
There's always a great Cinderella story. I believe it was Wales last time around. They did pretty well for themselves. But you know who is.
Well, right, and let me just set this up. Part of it is I didn't at least grow up with it in southwestern Wisconsin in La Crosse area. And so whenever I have a question, because I don't know anything about the game, I turn to one of our own. FOX6's Ben Handelman, who not only is a soccer aficionado, he refs soccer. You're a ref. You are like the official game caller. Wait, can I call it a game?
I just realized I should have brought my cards down here.
Yeah, I thought we'd see you in stripes or whatever the jerseys, the kits that the umps wear, the refs wear.
No! Do you see what I'm wearing, guys?
Yeah.
I got hooked up from the Creative Services Department. I am an official broadcaster because my shirt says it. And not only that, hold on, I'm going to show you this. They gave me a hat, too. And it says, guys, you know we don't give out free stuff to the people who are on air.
Right.
This is
like
a big deal
swag.
that someone handed me a free T-shirt. And so, of course, I'm going to wear it because I am an official broadcaster.
Wow.
Yes, can you believe it? The World Cup is here. And I'm at Nomad World Pub. And I'm going to get out of the way real quick, okay? Because this is pretty wild what's going on here. We're on Brady Street, right at Warren Street. They've shut down Warren Street. Nomad now owns this block for the next 30 days. And do you notice the color? And this would be Mary's expertise when we're talking outfits. All the color, it's all green, guys. You know why that is?
That's the color of Mexico's kits or jerseys.
Team Mexico is kicking off the World Cup. So more than 100 games. This is the biggest sporting event that the world has ever seen because this used to be 32 teams. They've expanded the field. So there's 48 different countries. Oh, see, they're cheering because someone just got subbed out. And yes, Mary, this is why you don't have to be a soccer fan because this is more than soccer. This is a cultural moment. This is a family ties moment. This is a community thing, bringing people together. So look, they've shut down the street. They brought in bleachers, and it's 99% Team Mexico. Now you might be asking, well, wait, they're playing South Africa. Is there anyone from South Africa? Have you been able to find someone there? Colin, I'm going to have you zoom in. The trouble is, I didn't realize this, the South Africans also wear green, and I found one table of people from South Africa. But they're here, and they're representing, they're not very happy right now because Mexico is up 1-0. So I'm going to give you guys a little options here. We could do one of two things. I could show you a little behind the scenes and take you down the super secret passage.
Of course, we'd love that.
Or I can give you a tour. Yeah, that sounds good, right?
Okay.
Oh my gosh! What happened? What I miss? What happened?
They scored a goal.
Okay, very soon.
Who's they?
Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. Okay.
When the man in the sombrero
Mary,
is cheering,
you can't tell who scored. What happened? Goal. Okay, they're very simple.
Okay, yeah. I get it now. Yeah, there you go.
Mary goes, what team is it?
I didn't see him.
give her a break. She just told you she's learning the game. Let's be kind with her, please.
Countries and games and colors. Yeah. Just stay on the guy then with the sombrero, and I don't even need to see the game. You know, you got Packers fans in there too.
Oh.
I saw the green from the Packers fans. So
okay,
it was a beautiful header.
There's a woman here.
Ben, you missed it. It was a beautiful header. Mexico.
Guys, you get wrapped up in this.
Yeah,
okay,
you do.
Back to my point here. I could take you down the super secret path.
Okay.
Or I can give you a tour and do what I did in college, and we're going to throw some elbows. And really, it's harder for Colin because he's on the camera. So you want the super secret tour?
Well, I'm going to let Mary pick, but I have to ask you one serious question before we do this. Seriously.
Okay.
With inclement weather happening, is there a plan there?
There is no official plan, and honestly, I mean, they've got the tornado watches up on the screen because the broadcasters are doing that. There are buildings here. So this is Brady Street, and if worst comes to worst, everyone here, there is enough room in the establishments down here. and because we've come up with an exit plan as well, trying to be safe here. Now, luckily, this game, it should be over by 4:30, and the hope is that, the weather comes in after this first official World Cup game is over. But that is a really good question. I think everybody's plan is just run to the nearest building, and then the bars, we'll see if they let you down into the basement or in a cooler or something. So nobody's caring about that so much right now that Mexico's up 2-0.
There are plenty of water.
Do you guys want the tour?
Yes.
Well, it's Mary's call. Mary gets
the tour.
to
Do we have time
Let's
for
do
that?
the tour because as an official announcer, you don't want to be elbowing people. There's liability now.
Yeah,
You're on blast.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a bad look for Fox 6.
Are we doing the super secret back way tour, or are we throwing elbows and giving
No
you
elbows.
the crowded
No.
tour?
We don't want to give you a red card on day one.
Yeah.
Okay, come with me. Let's take a tour.
We'll do
and
that
Colin,
when
you can
He
pan
seems
off. You don't have to
disappointed
show
we
the
didn't
back
give
of my head
him
the whole
permission
time.
for violence.
We'll do that when you're Ben from the block, but today you're Ben from Fox 6, so we'll keep it family friendly. So this is the secret.
All right, so this is Warren Street, guys. Normally
Okay.
you could drive this and get on Brady Street, okay? But you can't because they've put bleachers back there. So you can watch the games down here. And if Colin spins around, I don't know if you could see it, they put a giant, well, there's an umbrella in the way now, but there's a giant TV screen up that they put on one of those shipping containers, okay? Now there's bars out on the streets here. Guys, this is what's really funny. A lot of people have been like ducking the camera because they're like, please don't show me.
They're supposed to be at work.
Because I think there's a lot. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm making a point so you guys know that. So if you're like, whoa, that guy really got out of the way, you'll know it. All right, come with me.
Yeah.
Come with me.
That kiss camera really kind of freaked a lot of people out, and so now it's like, you know what I mean? We're all a little traumatized.
Yeah, do not get us into a Coldplay situation here, Benjamin.
I'm going through the coffee shop because I want you guys to see this little cool setup here. All right. Look, this is so we don't have to throw elbows. This is the inside the bar area. Look at how they're packed in here.
Nice. It's a nice little. Never been there.
Guys, it's like 500 degrees in here, too.
Yeah, what establishment are you in right now?
I wonder if they would be this excited if Team Mexico didn't score.
Nice.
Okay. Come on, we'll come this way.
What business are you in right there? What business is that?
Oh, this is the Nomad Cafe here.
Okay.
Right here. What? Okay, here, Colin, why don't you go? So, I'm glad you guys didn't pick the elbow option because I was going to go through that crowd.
Yeah,
Here, let's go this secret back way. Okay, we got 1 minute, so let's see if we can make it. Don't mind some of the not so pretty things back here, but hold on. We're behind the scenes because I want to show you this back area. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, hello. Okay, look at all the alcohol that they've got back here.
Oh,
They're
nice.
ready for fans.
Nice.
Now look
Hopefully
at
that won't get rained
Here's
out.
check out the back patio here.
Nice.
Okay. Pretty cool. Now come down here. Oh, we got an offside, guys. Look at this area they've got back here. They're calling this the warm-up because Team USA plays tomorrow night, and the weather is supposed to be perfect.
Yes.
It's a night game. Brady Street's already kind of crazy, and so they think it's really going to get crazy down here tomorrow for Team USA.
You better believe it.
Oh, these guys want to be on TV here. We got kids. Are you happy about the score?
Yeah,
You are. Who are you rooting for?
Mexico.
Another Mexico here. So we won't
I love
talk.
your dress.
We won't talk. All right, guys, I'm going to throw it back to you, but that's the tour. I'm glad you got to see it. A goal happened when we were live on it.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yes. Okay, yes.
Wait.
That was from Mexico. I think I got that.
Hold on. That's why they were cheering.
I don't think it's a goal.
No, it wasn't. Hey, Ben, I want to tell you, I'm impressed with your cardio.
Right.
Right, running and talking.
All right, we got to run out of here for just a bit.
Official broadcaster.
Yes, keep it clean out there. We'll see you more at 4, 5, 6 tonight. But in the meantime, we got to run out of here.
Let
for a
us
quick
know if we
second.
should jump into the basement or something.
Yes.
All right,
We'll
sounds
be
good.
right back on Fox Local.
I'm going to find out where our T-shirts are.
Right, and hats. Welcome back to Fox Local, everybody. So glad that you were with us on this really stormy Thursday afternoon. You can feel that heat out there, right? You can feel the humidity. You just know something is brewing in the air. So we want to kick it right over to Chief Meteorologist Tom Walks for the latest. I was just saying to our producer, Delaney, Tom, in the break, it seems like things are quiet now. We saw the big party on Brady Street, but this is no time to get complacent. I mean, we need to be weather aware.
100%, Mary. Hopefully they'll get the rest of the soccer game in before we end up, seeing the storms coming in.
He said by 4:30 it's supposed to wrap. So if you will, and that's perfect. I mean, people are working. That's rush hour. So can you give us a kind of a play-by-play here, timeline?
I 100% can, Mary. Let's talk about it. Tornado watch in effect for our southern counties until 9 o'clock tonight. So this includes Racine, Kenosha, and Walworth counties. This does not include the I-94 corridor or Milwaukee or Madison at this point. The Weather Service at this point thinking not for a northward extension, that they're not going to do that, but it's still a possibility here. Let's talk about what's going on. You see the tornado watch down to the south, no warnings at this point. I also should mention there's a flood watch in effect for us until 11 o'clock tonight. And flooding could be a big issue as well. All right. So here's what's going on. We had that morning batch come through, right, or midday. Now we're dry. Now we've got rain coming in from the west. This is not severe, although that's nasty, heading towards Chicago, down to the south. This is not severe. I, at this point, would scientifically term this area as mush. Very scientific, right? So this is just some heavy rain coming on through with lightning and thunder. So this is going to build through the area where localized flooding could certainly be a threat. Now, look on the back side of this. You're seeing more storms firing. And a couple of issues here. Number one is, will we see the worst of the weather down to the south? That's why the tornado watch is where it is. So our southern counties are right on the northern edge of the watch. However, one of the models that I'm looking at, our high-resolution model data, showing the mush, as I'm calling it, coming through over the course of the next 2 hours or so, and then the real nasty stuff forming on the backside and potentially pushing through our area 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So that's going to be the question mark here, is how does this all evolve? The current thinking with that watch in the Storm Prediction Center of the National Weather Service is that this is going to hold down to the south, and the worst of the weather will be down in Illinois. What I don't like is some of the high-resolution data coming in indicating that this mush, so to speak, will bring heavy rain through the area, and then the real nasty storms come in thereafter. And so based upon what I'm seeing outside of this area here, which also is not severe, this isn't even the bad stuff yet. The bad stuff has yet to develop. And our conditions are favorable for tornadoes, possibly strong tornadoes, very large hail, and very strong winds and flooding rain. So bottom line is this. Pay attention to the forecast throughout the night. The closer you live to the Illinois border, the greater your chances for severe weather. Everyone's going to see rain here shortly again. And by 9 o'clock tonight, we're done. All right, so the window is narrow. I mean, we're talking about, by the time this stuff arrives, we're talking about 3, 4 hours, right, of a window here. But it could be pretty nasty in spots. So that's the very latest that we have there. And again, the tornado watch, we're just right on the northern edge of the watch. That includes Racine, Kenosha, and Walworth County. So this is what we're going to need to watch. The National Weather Service does have jurisdiction should they want to add additional counties. So if it looks in the next 2 hours that, hey, this is trending north, then they could add Milwaukee, for example, or Waukesha or Jefferson County, whoever, into that watch should they deem it necessary. And again, unknown at this point. And you usually by this time, we're always like, okay, it's going to happen at this time. It's going to happen here. It's going to happen here. But the difference with this is there's a lot more dynamics at play. We have the first batch come through. Usually the more rain that comes in, the more tame our atmosphere becomes. But there's so many other factors like the jet stream at play with this that these storms are going to get strong tonight. The question is it Illinois or is it southern Wisconsin? Is it a mix of both? That we don't know. But again, the time frame is through 9 o'clock tonight. I'd say 5 to 6 p.m. for a start for the bad storms. through 9 o'clock tonight. This stuff is going to come through over the course of the next 2 hours. So let's say between now and 6 is when this pushes through. Then we need to see the development here on the backside. So I hope that all kind of makes sense for you there. Mary, I'll bring you back in. And if you have any questions, kind of chatting a little bit. But I think that, again, I'm glad that they're going to get the soccer game in here. And, obviously looks like a lot of fun down there on Brady Street. The rain is about to move back in, so it's going to end up that they are going to get a little soggy down there. So I wasn't sure if they have some tents and things down there that they can at least be protected from the rain. But again, there is that we are going to see rain as a guarantee, just nothing severe as of yet out of this. So in fact, what we'll do, let me pull up some of that high resolution data for you so we can kind of go through that together and take a look at that. Let me show you this too, just so kind of take you through. We got the clouds, 77, so we've warmed up, dew point 66, so we're humid. You can see temperatures kind of all over the place right now. Blanchardville, see those areas cooling down as that rain is coming on in. So let me now pull up the high resolution data for you, and we'll go through that. So let's take a look here. We've got a moderate risk for severe weather in place in our southern communities, and enhanced risk everywhere else. I'll show you that here as well, just so you can kind of get a visual on that. Let's pop that up for you. And that is right here. So you can see where that is in effect for. Now let's go ahead and show you our high resolution model data. Remember I was just talking about this here? All right, so watch what happens. This is that mush I was talking about. Yeah, it could get a little strong, but that's the mush coming through. All right, so this is 5 o'clock. Again, moving southwest to northeast. Now, 6 o'clock. See this stuff towards Madison? Do you see how it starts to grow a little bit more? Look at 7 o'clock. Now you're seeing more on the back side of that here. Here's 8 o'clock tonight with more of this line coming on through. So that's the concern that we have for tonight. How exactly does it look? We don't know. But we do know we're going to get sunshine tomorrow. So that's certainly good news. But I just wanted to show you that because I think that really gives you a better idea of somewhat of the unknowns coming through. Here's the system. See the line extending all the way down to Oklahoma right now. So it's just going to be very interesting since we're on the northern edge of this, what happens with that mush area, as I'm calling it. We're going to get heavy rain, but that's where we could start to get the development off of here over the course of the next 1 to 2 hours. And then that will dictate what happens between now and 9 o'clock. Look, though, right behind the front. You have what's called subsidence. Look at all the clearing. I mean, crystal clear, Des Moines, Iowa, right now. So that's also an indicator of that rising and sinking air with this system, an indicator of the strength. I mean, just the degree of clearing that you're getting in behind that. So again, we're seeing those temperatures in the 70s right now. We will be cooling down a little bit more here as we go throughout the next couple of hours as the rain comes in. So we don't have that intense heat that we typically expect with severe weather, but we're going to get a lot of rain out of this. The severity is what's in question right now, really the location of the severity. And I talked earlier, Mumford & Sons playing down at Wrigley. I have a feeling that's going to get canceled, but we'll see more on that as that gets just a little bit closer here. But it's very wet. It's going to be very stormy. The question is, do we get the tornadoes? Do the tornadoes stay down to our south? Mary, are you back with me here?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hi there.
I've been with you the whole time. I'm getting my weather tutorial. Let me ask you, Tom, when it comes to that, you talked about this concert potentially at Wrigley. We also talked about Jazz in the Park. One thing that we haven't talked about is our flight delays and cancellations, because I was just looking at the Chicago forecast as well. You're saying it will potentially stay to our south. Do you anticipate, we should check in, of course, with Mitchell International Airport. Do you expect some grounding at O'Hare, at Mitchell because of this, perhaps in the next hour or two?
100%. Yes. Based upon either heavy rain, which I know usually rain doesn't typically, ground flights, but if it's heavy enough, and the lightning and the thunder and all of that. So you may start to see it. And of course, when one gets backed up, they all get backed up, right?
Sure.
So yes, I do think we will have delays both in Milwaukee and also in Chicago at O'Hare and Midway. So, yeah, that's a really good point to bring up as well. It's just going to be messy here this evening. Again, after 9 o'clock, we're all good. But between now and then, there's just a lot of uncertainties in terms of, Mary, how severe this gets. And, you know, we've seen this before where we'll get a cluster of storms, and then all of a sudden the storm starts spinning.
Right.
And that's the deal with the rotation is so strong in the atmosphere that it's not going to take much. So that's what we need to watch for as well. We could go from a 0 to 60 type situation very quickly, and we're on alert, of course, for that as well. And we've got Sam Kramer in place. Holly Baker is in our storm chasing truck, and she is getting into position. So we are ready to track these storms here throughout the night.
Well, we heard yesterday from people in the Horicon area. I think it was, Horicon or Lomira, where, you know what, it was like we didn't know what was going to happen. We saw a few clouds and then we felt some sprinkles. And just like that, it's almost like it turned on a dime, and that can happen again. So again, not to create fear, but again, you just have to be very weather aware. Keep it here on Fox Local. It's a great way, again, if your power does go out, make sure that your stuff is charged now, right? Keep your phones charged, and so you can watch us because
flashlights,
we will. Yeah, flashlights, all that kind of stuff. Make sure everything is clearly ready to go. We will be, of course, monitoring any power outages through this evening. You know, Tom, because we've got the time here to talk about this, I always harken back to my childhood because I remember going in the basement in West Salem, Wisconsin, where I was raised. But for some reason, I remember like right before school got back in like July, primarily I want to say August. It seems like this is early for this type of weather. I could just be talking. You growing up here in the Milwaukee area, I don't know, does it seem earlier than it used to be or no?
It varies. You know, I would say the March, you know, when we have February, March, that's really early. Really any time after April, but I would put our core severe weather months as June to August. Let me give you a story, Mary, and it actually involves Channel 6. It was July 1990. I was 10 years old, and I was home alone. Why I was home alone at 10 years old, that's a different question, right? I don't know why.
Is your mom watching?
Right. Why was I home alone? But I had Vince Candela on from this very weather center that I'm standing in, and there was a tornado warning. And I looked, it was like 2 in the afternoon, July day, and I looked outside, and I could see my reflection. It was that dark, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. And I freaked out. You remember the corded phone, right?
Yeah,
Picked up the
of
corded
course.
phone to call someone, couldn't get a hold of anyone. So I dropped the phone and I ran out of the house, left the door open, ran to the neighbor's house to go into their basement. Why I couldn't go into mine, I don't know. But funny story was, my mom gets home, doors open, my shoes are there and the phone's off the hook. She thought I'd been kidnapped. Nope, just freaked out about a tornado. But I remember watching Vince from right here, and you know, that's one of those core memories that turned me into a meteorologist, right?
I was going to say, that did it. That's a great story. I'm so glad that you shared that. You know, speaking though, on a serious note, if people do lose electricity, and with this humidity, you always worry about people, particularly with underlying health conditions. So if they lose electricity and don't have a fan or air conditioning, potentially, how cool then will we get tonight? Will we cool off where if you do lose electricity, hey, you're fine without the AC? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the humidity will drop. It's going to take a while, but the dew points will be dropping overnight through the 60s and into the 50s by tomorrow.
Sure.
So noticeably less humid by tomorrow. Yes, so this is not going to last for days and days. So that is good news. And tomorrow's 80. Beautiful day tomorrow. So good news is, you know, this isn't one of those cases. Remember a few years ago where we had the really bad storms come through Milwaukee and it was like 95 degrees for days?
That's why I asked. Absolutely.
Yes, not the case here. It's going to be 80 on Friday, mid 80s on Saturday, and then low 70s on Sunday. So nothing crazy in terms of heat or humidity.
I was going to say, what about the humidity?
Nothing crazy. I mean, we may see dew points in the low 60s and more thunderstorms on Saturday, but then lowering again on Sunday. So, you know, again, this is not like a mid-July baking heat type situation.
That is excellent news. That is wonderful. We know you're going to continue to monitor it. I wanted to ask you, too, before our time is up, is we will be switching over to Fox 6 here at 4 o'clock officially. I was amazed. I said to Ted earlier, how are we under a flash flood watch when we have had so
Little rain.
Yes, or just such dry conditions.
Yeah.
How's that possible?
Well, the dry ground actually has something to do with that as well. In that, as you can imagine, think of a desert, for example. Now, we're not quite that dry, but think of a desert, and then you just pour water on it, right? The ground is so hard that the water's not going to soak in. So what does it do? It runs off, right? And that's how you get your flooding. So the dry conditions kind of play into it a little bit, where instead of it just all soaking in and the ground's just sucking it up, if we have heavy rain, as we have coming in here this afternoon, that's going to pour down, and most of that's going to run off into the gutters and the sides of the roads and things like that, and could cause some flooding. So that's one of the reasons why that's in effect for tonight. Not so much because we've had so much rain, we haven't. It's more the ground conditions plus the intensity of the rain.
I see. Interesting, the intensity. Yes, I wanted to bring some clarification.
That's a great question.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Sure.
You guys have a real busy night ahead of you. We know that you're going to keep on top of it. Again, Holly Baker will be in our weather truck, and then we have Sam Kramer, of course, boots on the ground, so to speak, heading down to the southern part of our viewing area. And again, as you had said earlier, you're expecting some severity in northern Illinois. So
yeah, and that's really going to be the question. In fact, let's go back here since we've been chatting. And let's see if, so way down south now, interesting, there are tornado warnings. So you can see there in western Illinois, nothing though up the line as of yet. So let's go back here real quick just to show you the current condition. So you see those cells, that's the tornadic one, way at the bottom of your screen there. So that's it so far. So the question's going to be what happens with this mush here, as I'm calling it, and then this area off to the west. It is plausible that most of this stays into Illinois. Let's fingers crossed, and then we don't have to deal with the real nasty stuff here. We will get rain, we will get storms, but the question is the tornadic stuff and the severe stuff. So we'll be watching that, but as of right now, no immediate concern for warnings, but we do have rain inbound.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you hear me shuffling about, and that is because Ted Perry is back here on the set. I shushed him a little bit ago, but I do that
I got back just in time to hear childhood trauma stories.
Oh, yes, my childhood trauma. Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy. But he and Kim will be taking over right now. We know that you're going to keep us informed, Tom. And
we'll be here all night.
We'll let you just take a drink of water there. I'm going to switch out with Kim Murphy. I'll see you back here at 5, but for right now, we'll switch over for our 4 o'clock broadcast. So glad that you're with us. Keep it right here. We're going to keep you informed throughout the storm tonight.
With stories that matter to you, this is Fox 6 News at 4.
And welcome to Fox 6 News at 4 as we take a look at Milwaukee's skyline. We are again joining you on Fox Local, so we appreciate you finding us here. And we are again starting with the weather as we could see some severe storms coming through.
And it is clouded up this afternoon from this morning. I did see a little bit of sun. Tom Wachs, you are tracking the weather and all of the storms. Bring us up to date.
Hi there, guys. Yeah, sorry, I lost our audio there. But we do have the rain coming in here, and we do have a tornado watch for parts of our area as well. Again, thank you for joining us here on Fox Local. We are currently live. Let me show you what's going on with the radar, first of all, as we have more rain coming in. Now, let me start out by saying nothing is severe out of this. Again, nothing is severe, but we have rain coming in from the west and southwest. Some stronger thunderstorms towards Monroe and Madison, moving to the northeast, but again, nothing severe out of this. That being said, there is a tornado watch in effect for Racine, Kenosha, and Walworth counties that runs until 9 o'clock tonight. We are on the northern edge of this, all right? So most of this watch is in Illinois. There is a possibility, if conditions warrant, that Milwaukee to Madison could be added if needed. Right now, that is not looking to be needed. Let's broaden the view out for you here. Look at all the lightning down to the southwest. This is also not severe at the moment. So I'll take the lightning off and we'll put this into motion, and you can see the activity coming in from the southwest. So it's going to get pretty wet here. Now, I'm scientifically calling this mush that's coming in. A lot of heavy rain. Now, there's also a flood watch in effect until 11 o'clock tonight for southeastern Wisconsin. We could have some localized flooding. That would be my greatest concern with what's coming in right now with this mush, so to speak, would be heavy rain. All right, plus lightning and thunder. So now you might be wondering, well, wait a minute, where's the nasty storm activity? It's developing down to the south in Illinois, and there's another line developing off to the west in Iowa. So the question now becomes, will the tornadic activity stay across the border in Illinois? That's why most of that tornado watch is south, and that's why Milwaukee has not been included. If conditions remain, Illinois may get the worst of this, and we just get a couple of strong thunderstorms with the tornadic activity staying across the border. We just don't know that yet. Now, by 9 o'clock tonight, everything is done. So the window is between now and 9. I think as this mush pushes through, that's then when we'll know what's going on the backside of this thing. So it's not what's coming through now that's a concern. It's what's on the backside that's a concern. And the question will be, does the worst of it stay in Illinois? Does it come across southern Wisconsin? It's going to be a noisy night either way, guys. I'll have an update for you in a few minutes. Back over to you.
Well, to that last point, when are we going to know?
I don't think we're going to know probably for about another hour, hour and a half.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is we're in the development phase here, as you can see, right, in eastern Iowa. So the question over really about the next hour is going to be how far north does this extend? If it doesn't extend any farther north, it will stay to the south in Illinois. But so I'd give it about another hour, and then I think we're going to have a decent idea as to whether it's going to be very noisy and tornadic for us or if Illinois gets the brunt.
All right, Tom Walks, thank you. Strong winds rip bricks and roofs from buildings in downtown Horicon.
Yeah, that was yesterday. It left people and businesses displaced. Ashley Sears with a look at the damage there.
Storms blew through here, and you could see just how strong they were, tearing bricks from the building and ripping off the roof. Crews have been dealing with rain and strong winds all day as they work to make repairs. Apartments inside are left without ceilings. Looking up, you see the sky. There is insulation everywhere that fell from the rafters. The building owner says there are 7 units impacted. Everyone was evacuated as they worked to safely repair the place. Across the street, the front end of another building was also destroyed. Horicon's mayor says thankfully no one was seriously injured. The owner of this building became emotional about the place that he's owned since 1990, and the tenants now looking for a place to live.
That's my life savings, everything. I'm friends with everybody that lives there. Yeah. Now they're all displaced.
The Red Cross is assisting those who need help, and several GoFundMe pages have been set up for those impacted. Reporting in Horicon, Ashley Sears, Fox 6 News.
Well, significant winds damaging several properties across Lamira, also in Dodge County.
Our Andrew Muzu was there and shares the recovery efforts from Wednesday's storm.
Thursday in Lamira has been all about teamwork and recovery after severe weather Wednesday left many people experiencing a variety of damage to homes, from fallen trees to impacted foundation. Village officials say the north and northeast areas of Lamira were hardest hit. That includes this 8-unit apartment building. People living there were forced out of their units as the roof of the building was damaged. We even saw large sheets of the roof scattered across the grassy area outside of the building. As neighbors prepare for more potential storms, they say it's been a team effort in recovering from this stretch of severe weather.
Everybody's helping out everybody else, and it's like a big family, so it's nice. Get all the help we can possibly get.
I was looking out my window and saw my car moving around in my driveway just because all the wind. And then I saw my garage door flap, and then it folded in by 3 feet. And then the side of the garage is pushed off the foundation about 1.5 feet.
Jennifer Warren of American Red Cross says they opened a shelter in Horicon, but it's not limited to just that area.
We also had received word that there was one mobile home that had been blown off of its foundation, and then 2 businesses had also been impacted, and they had apartments above them. And really, the shelter is open to anybody who has been impacted by these storms.
The village of Lemira did open a space for people affected by the storms. Village officials say people can use that area to rest, charge devices, or even get more information from emergency responders. Reporting in Lemira, Andrew Amuzu, Fox 6 News.
And when storms pop, you can have the power of the Fox 6 Weather Experts in your hand. Download the Fox 6 Storm Center app, and you'll have access to live radar and storm cell tracking. It's safe to do so. Please snap some pictures. We're going to share some of those in our 4 o'clock hour. Remember, Fox Local, it's a free download.
The World Cup kicks off today.
The first match just wrapped up. Ben Handelman is checking out the excitement at the Nomad on Brady. I was so doubtful that you would have company. Ben, it's a party.
Viva Mexico! 2-0 win for Team Mexico. Mexico, Mexico. Look, I'm also happy down here as this is a 99% pro-Mexican crowd. We got babies dancing. We got people dancing as the World Cup. We've been talking about it, and it has kicked off. And a lot of people, these people are really happy with the results. The first game, guys, was in Mexico City. Mexico, the U.S., and Canada were all hosting this biggest event in athletic history in the world. I want to talk about the weather for a second, guys. Thank goodness the game just ended because we keep talking about the clouds. I'm going to have Colin spin around. We're on the east side of Milwaukee, of course. The clouds have been getting a little bit darker. And so I think these people are going to hang out here and celebrate. But in a little bit, they're probably going to go home and enjoy the win from home as the rain is moving in here pretty soon. Incredible setup here from the Nomad World Pub. They've shut down Warren Street. We've got, look, these guys are so happy.
Mexico!
Woo! You guys happy?
Viva Mexico!
So, yeah, they're going to stay. Oh, we got a kid here.
Mexico!
What's his name?
Johnny.
Johnny, you happy?
Yes, yes.
Johnny's happy. Guys, this is a perfect segue. You know, we're doing the Look Who Kicks segment. I just want to show you how into the World Cup I am this year, because here's a picture of me when I was on Team Giovanni's Pizza, when I was probably a little older than Johnny here, as we're all getting ready for the World Cup. More than 100 games this year, guys. They've expanded the field. There's usually 32 countries. This year there's 48, which means there's never been this many World Cup games. Have you guys gotten ready in any way? I'm all in on Team USA. I don't know if there's any rituals you guys have done for this game.
No rituals. I was into the Wales thing 4 years ago when Wales made it. I bought a Wales jersey because Perry's a Welsh name. But no, nothing yet this year. Still trying to learn the American squad. How about you, Murph?
Same. But I know by the end of this, we will know every player. Hopefully they go deep, Team USA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to get fueled up today, guys.
Yeah.
So guess what meal I had today? Because, again, I'm all in on Team USA.
You had.
Guess what meal I had?
Well, it's very easy. Ranchos Huervos.
No, guys. Look at what I had for lunch today. The most American meal I could think of. The $1.50 meal at Costco up in Grafton. I am fueled. I am ready to go, and I was very happy that my order number is the same as my birthday. I think that's a sign that Team USA is going to do really well. They're calling this the warm-up here at Nomad because there was a big crowd here today, but tomorrow's Friday night. That's when Team USA plays, and the weather is supposed to be perfect.
Okay.
So just expect the crowds will probably spill out. Can I show you quickly before we run out of time
let me just say, I thought you were doing the the flavor of the day for the teams that were playing. That's why I thought you were going to do like Ranchos Huevos or crepes when France plays. But go ahead with your thing. That's why I guessed what I guessed.
That'd probably be better. That'd probably be the way to go. I don't know what they eat in South Africa, too. That's who played Mexico. I do want to show you the first goal of the World Cup. It was scored in the 9th minute by Team Mexico. They did not take long. You know, this is not the first World Cup that's happened. There's been a World Cup in Mexico before. They've never lost in that stadium, guys. Talk about home field advantage. And Team Mexico continues that tradition with that exciting moment. And I want to show you guys, because we have a camera down here at Nomad World Pub, and it's up on one of the buildings. Here is the moment that Team Mexico scored the goal with all the people that were sitting here. They were all so excited as we're showing you that video now. So we got a bird's eye view. I think what's going to be really fun throughout this tournament is seeing the different fan bases come, because when Team England plays and that sort of thing. So we talked to some fans too. Listen.
The environment, you know what I mean? It happens every 4 years, so we got to take advantage of it. And we feel like Mexico has a good chance to get far. So we'll see.
I mean, does it ever look like this for the NFL? No. No.
I'm Mexican boy, but my love is Milwaukee.
It's one of my favorite things about the World Cup. It's not just about sport. It's about culture. It's about community. And yeah, you can love Milwaukee, and then you got to love your roots. And maybe you're out here rooting for Team Mexico. We did find some South Africans. There he is right there, our South African. He's that one. He seems okay. He seems kind of happy. Not as sad as I thought. They're wearing green too, so it was kind of hard to find the South Africans. I found 2 of them here. Anyway, we're just getting going, guys. So we'll see in about 20 minutes. Although we're feeling our first raindrops, so we'll see how it goes down here.
All right, I'm just so impressed, because you think maybe soccer is just like gaining attraction, but so many people have their countries that they're supporting, and they've got the jerseys. So that tells you World Cup fever in soccer. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. Yeah, 125 million people watched the Super Bowl. 1.2 billion people watched the finals of the last World Cup.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Okay.
This is a much more global game than I think we even realize here in the States.
Which was won by Argentina, if I remember. Hey, let me ask you, tomorrow night, Team USA plays 8 o'clock. Do you need a reservation to go down there? Is it first come, first serve?
That's a good idea, yeah.
Well, how can you know?
It is first come, first serve.
Okay.
They do have security, so you got to check in. So they will limit the amount of people they let into this space. They have another space on the backside. But yes, you get here early. It is first come, first serve. You can't reserve a table. So you got to get here pretty early if you want a seat or a spot, really.
All right, or make some friends while you're down there. All right, thanks, Ben Handelman. I'm having fun through Ben.
Can you believe we had to force Ben to go down there?
I know.
Kicking and screaming. He said, I don't want to go cover that.
Wait, here's a subtle plug for Ben's social media. Did you see him? He's like, I'm going down to the Nomad.
That's great. I love the picture of young Ben.
Of young Ben, yeah.
How about that?
I was like,
A former Milwaukee police officer back in court today.
He's accused of using the flock camera system to stalk the person he was dating. Today, he reached a plea deal. Details on what happened in court. And let's take a live look outside right now. We're getting some pictures from our crews that we're going to share a little bit. But in Bristol, Kenosha, we're seeing these clouds that are starting to form, and they look a little dangerous.
Very ominous indeed. I don't know if we have any of those. This is a picture right now that the news truck that Holly Baker is in right now. And where is she exactly? Do we know where she is specifically?
Holly, are you there? Can you hear us?
Hi, yes, I am here.
Where are you, Holly?
We're headed on I-43 South, so we're headed to Delavan, and that is where we're going to kind of set up for these storms to kind of start brewing. Right now, we're just seeing a bunch of rain that's pretty much in the area. The skies are very, very gray here, but we do see some areas where it's not really gray just yet. It looks like there's a little break of sunshine in that area, but it's just some heavy rain. We've seen some lightning strikes as well. Not a lot of lightning strikes right now, but we have seen quite a few that they've looked pretty impressive. The big thing right now is the rain. There's a lot of ponding on the roads is what I'm seeing as well. And there's a lot of people on the roads too.
All right, so you're heading to Walworth County. We got Sam Kramer down to Kenosha County. So we got, if you see a trend forming there, it's the southern part of our viewing area. Tom Walk's joining us now to talk about that. This is where most of the activity might be coming in, Tom?
Yes, exactly, guys. So, and Holly, be safe out there. I know you are heading out on the road, as we can see. And what you are in right now, Holly, is this rain, and it's going to be picking up for you. So, and it looks like you are heading, and I missed that, but it looks like you're heading southbound, and which would make sense from the fact that the darker clouds are on your right. And therefore, that's where the thunderstorms are coming in from. Now, there is no severe weather out of this, but boy, is there a lot of lightning towards Janesville. And this is the sort of the beginning, if you will, of the storm formation. In fact, and you can see the radar here. Let me show you a couple of things. And I've got my colleague, Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell, who is here as well. So just so you know, we have got this covered from every angle. Our Stephanie Barrichello, she is actually going to be working with our crews like Holly and Sam Kramer, guiding them safely around all of these storms. So I'm going to point out here real quick a few things, and then I'm going to diagnose or kind of dig into some of these storms a bit more. So none of this is severe at this point, but heavy rain coming in from the southwest. So Holly, who's heading towards Lake Geneva, is going to get in on this very heavy rainfall. We could have some flooding. There's a flood watch in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. Tornado watch for our southern counties, Walworth, Racine, and Kenosha until 11 o'clock. I want to look at this cell near Rockford because that is just starting to pop up here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. This is what we call a composite radar. I'm going to switch to the local radar here. You see the difference here where it's a little more fine scale here. And this is an individual cell popping up to the east of Rockford. And what I'm going to do, as you can see, it's just developing here. Let's just kind of peer into this a little bit. What I want to do is look at the hail and see what I mean. Look at that. That's the only cell anywhere in the area that has hail. And that's an indicator that this puppy is going to be much stronger than the other ones. And that's kind of piqued my interest here. So this is a hailer. Now let's look at any rotation. Again, we're east of Rockford. No rotation as of yet, but I'll tell you, this is east of Monroe, Illinois, not Monroe, Wisconsin. And again, we're kind of looking at this on the fly. See this area right here? There's no real rotation yet, but I'm going to be interested to see what happens as this thing moves northeast over the course of the next, little bit. So why am I concerned about that cell? And you guys know I like to think out loud, right? This is me thinking out loud. Because we are, again, to the southwest of I-90 in Illinois. But take a look here. So this is the only cell in the region producing any hail. So that's and number two, it's on the drier side of the storms, right? Any storms in here aren't getting a good footing at this point. It's kind of sucking in that rain-cooled air. This one is not. So what's happening, and look at the direction. Right there to the northeast. That's going to put it towards Lake Geneva, if not just a little bit to the southeast of Lake Geneva over the course of the next 30, 40 minutes. So if we see that and this gets stronger, I would say this is a cell of concern. But again, interesting, right? How you can look at what I'm calling just sort of this mush out here towards Janesville. This isn't concerning. This is just heavy rain. But it's so interesting that out of the mush, you can start to see more development, a more stronger development. So this is 100% catching my eye right now. There is no warning with this. Let me go back here. There is no warning at this time with this. Let me double check that. So there's the tornado watch, and you're going to say zoom out. There are tornado warnings way down to the south in Illinois, but nothing out of that Rockford cell at this point. So let me also double check. Well, I've got you here. Weather Service is saying that they're expecting severe potential to stay confined to the state line. So they are not expecting this tornado watch to be expanded north. Let me check in with the Weather Service in Chicago, see if they are saying anything here. And let's see here. Yeah, feel free. Let's take the Rockford Tower Cam if we can. And so what's interesting is they are tracking this cell out of Chicago. And so they are watching it. However, here's downtown Rockford. And again, you can just see the ominous looking clouds, right? So I think that cell would need to be watched for our border communities, assuming that it continues to strengthen a little bit. It may end up getting mixed in with rain and then it just kind of fizzles out. But as we saw with the hail parameter there, that's a concern. Now, on the broad view, let me switch back to the composite. You can see there's a lot going on here, right? And so how do we kind of make sense of all of this? Well, a couple of things. And again, there you can see the Rockford camera. Oh, this is Beloit. Okay. And this is going to be one of those areas in Beloit that we're going to be watching. They're kind of in the mush right now, as I'm calling it, that heavy rain. But that's going to change as we go throughout the night. So let's just kind of regroup here. This is that one cell that I'm watching out ahead of the mush, okay? Then you have the mushy area, which is just heavy rain at this point, all right? And then on the backside, you have this nastiness east of Cedar Rapids. Now, some of the data supporting all of the worst of the weather staying in Illinois or just touching our border counties. That's why the tornado watch is in effect where it is. However, I'm a bit concerned because one of our high-resolution models has the mush pushing through and then real nastiness developing on the backside and pushing through at about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. We will see. That's, where I think we're seeing the development of the real nasty stuff here in eastern Iowa at the moment. But what happens over the course of the next half an hour, like you see right there, that cell, that's what I mean, because this is the front, and you can really see where this cold front is because look at the dramatic clearing. I mean, dramatic clearing, because right on the backside of a cold front, you have what's called subsidence in meteorology, or sinking air, and that completely clears the skies out. We're getting in on that tomorrow. A lot of sunshine for us, which will be nice. But before that point, just out ahead of it, you see the clouds, right? Because the air is converging right there and going up, and that's what's causing these showers and thunderstorms. So the question along the front here will be, do we see more development as that front moves east, or does that development stay down to the south? And I know I'm talking a lot of unknowns here. And so often, even the storms yesterday, we knew they were going to come through at 3 o'clock. We knew they were going to be bad, right? That was a pretty clear-cut timing. Here, the timing is in play. We've been talking 4 to 9 p.m., right? But the intensity is in question. And again, evidenced by that one cell. Now we have kind of this mush area. Does this mush area become more well-defined? That may be what we're starting to see right here as well, just within the last few frames. You see that, where we start to see kind of the rain overspread our area, and then here comes the real strong stuff, maybe in a couple of waves. So that's what we don't quite know yet, is exactly how this is going to come through and who's going to see the strongest of this as well. And this is also interesting to me. And again, I'm just analyzing this on the fly, but you see some storms west of Madison. Is there a little curl developing here, which might be evidence of what we call a bookend vortice in meteorology, where then this all lines up as a big line of thunderstorms with our southern counties being highlighted as the most severe weather. So let me let's take a look at a couple more things here, which one of those is going to be the watches again. Just to show you here that there's a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Walworth, Racine, Kenosha counties in our area. That is until 9 o'clock tonight. There's also a flood watch in effect until 11 p.m. But again, the tornado watch not expected to be expanded to the north. As we zoom this out for you, again, you see the real nasty storms as of right now down to the south. Temperatures at the moment are in the 60s and 70s, and we're not overly warm. So you might be saying, how can we get severe weather when it's not all that warm? We have the humidity and the dynamics, that front we were talking about, powerful, and the jet stream, powerful. That's overcoming the cooler air that we have in place. And again, I mean, look at this, going all the way down to Kansas and Oklahoma. So again, let's take a look at Sky Vision Plus here for tonight, because again, it's going to depend on how this all shakes out. But look at 6, 7 o'clock. Nasty stuff coming through. By 9 o'clock tonight, it is done. And then we have a lot of sunshine on the way for tomorrow. So let's put it all together for you here as we have, again, after 9 o'clock tonight, we're good. 80 tomorrow, 80 for Saturday, a few more storms, and then 70s Sunday and Monday. All right, boy, I have talked a lot there. We're going to have more news for you coming up right here on Fox Local after the break. Stay with us.
Where are we in day 2?
All right, so guys, we have got a tornado watch in effect for our southern counties until 9 o'clock tonight, and a flood watch for all of southeastern Wisconsin until 11 o'clock tonight. So let me show you that first. The tornado watch in effect for Racine, Kenosha, and Walworth counties, and that runs until 9 o'clock tonight. As of right now, there are no plans to extend the watch to the north into Milwaukee right now. We'll see if that changes. Look at this. Look at all the lightning here. Yes, it's raining. The rain is moving back in, but let me be clear. There is nothing severe on this map right now. And I know you're looking at that going, well, it looks pretty intense. And there's a lot of lightning coming in with this, a lot of lightning, thunder, and heavy rain, but nothing is severe out of this batch as of right now. Let me turn the lightning off because I think this will give you a better idea of what we're expecting over the course of the next couple of hours. We have moderate rain moving through Milwaukee right now. The thunderstorms are coming in from the southwest. We are watching a strong but not severe cell east of Rockford. So we'll watch that for our border counties here. The question over the next couple of hours will be, does this turn into anything violent? And that's going to be the concern. The thought right now is that the worst of the weather in terms of tornadic activity will stay south in Illinois tonight, but it could be right along the border or a little bit north, which is why the tornado watch is in effect. I think our northern counties nowhere near the severe weather threat that our border counties have. Okay, so if you're farther north, your severe threat's much lower. If you're closer to the Illinois border, your severe threat is higher. Let me talk about time frame here, because it's really any time from now to 9 o'clock tonight. By 9 o'clock, the cold front comes through, if not before. And look at the cold front out here in Iowa. Look at the sunshine. Once that comes through, we're done. And then we have a nice sunny day tomorrow. So the window's closing here. It's a very narrow window, but it's between now and 9 o'clock. And if these storms start to perk up, the atmosphere has plenty of spin in it, so we could have tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, and flooding rain tonight. But again, it's between now and 9 o'clock tonight before this activity will completely move through. We're tracking it for you. It's going to be a wet night regardless. I'll have more in a few minutes, guys. Back over to you.
All right, let's take a look at the conditions out there right now.
Holly Baker is out in the Fox 6 truck. She's in Walworth County. Take us through what you're seeing and where you are, Holly.
Hi, so yes, I am in Walworth County. We are about to turn and start heading towards the west and northwest. So we're about to meet the heaviest of the rain that's still out in Janesville. We're about to try to meet up with that so that we can get a better shot of the rain. Right now we're at the light and we're about to get ready to turn as soon as it turns green. I'll show you exactly what we're looking at right now. This is just a look here from where we are as far as the light. And then as we go to the skies, I'll even turn the camera a little bit more so that you can see. Just bear with me here. Right now is not a lot of rain in this particular area. Our light is green now. And so, but we are going to be driving towards some of that rain that is out in Janesville. So that's exactly what we're doing. And I can even give you a better shot with our front camera, if I can get to it. Here we are. So now we're back on the road and we're driving. You do see the windshield wipers are starting to go. The roads are already wet as well. You see here some cars coming in, but not a lot of heavy rain right now. So I think that's a good thing, but we are going to be running into some heavier rain, especially as it crosses over into Walworth County. So that's exactly what we're looking at right now.
All right, Holly Baker, thanks so much. And you can see some blue skies, but in the other direction, those dark clouds are coming forward.
It's the dark clouds that we're worried about.
That we're worried about. All right, Holly Baker, thanks.
Thank you. Great pictures coming in, unbelievable pictures coming in. Let's start with this one from Tiffany T. in Kenosha. Would you get a load of that cloud? Wow.
And from Bristol, we've got Faith. This is another, just the different, and I can't wait to hear from Tom to describe what kind of clouds these are. But when you see the skies turn dark like this, it's always an indication for me. I need to get inside. I need to turn on Fox 6. I need to look at my weather app to figure out what's coming my way.
Really ominous looking clouds, and it just gets worse. This is from Christina. These are storm clouds in South Milwaukee, so we're very appreciative of that.
And then we also have some damage from Kenosha. This is Nancy. Tree damage. We heard a lot of that. We saw a lot of power outages from Wednesday's storm, and we can imagine a lot of tree damage as well.
It's hard to tell if that one was produced by wind or the result of a lightning strike, because it is just a quick, clean cut there. I imagine it's the wind, but again, maybe Tom can pipe in and when we see him next about what we were just seeing there in terms of the clouds. And when these storms pop up, and they have been for the last 24 hours, you can have the power of the Fox 6 Weather Experts in your hand. Just download the Fox 6 Storm Center app, and you'll have access to the live radar and storm cell tracking. And if it's safe to do so, as it was for the viewers who just sent in those fantastic pictures, snap a picture or two of stormy skies and damage and share that with us. It's a free download, and we thank you in advance, but we do beg you to be safe doing it.
You saw it right here. The World Cup kicks off, and it did in a big way for Mexico.
Yeah, the first matchup just wrapped up. Ben Handelman checking out the excitement at the Nomad on Brady Street. It's kind of going to be our headquarters for the next month. Ben, are you covered right now? It looks like the rain has begun there.
Yes, the rain has begun. Hey guys, welcome to the fan zone here at the Nomad World Pub. Of course, we're on the east side on Brady. I'm actually standing on Warren Street. They've shut this off. I want to show you what it's like. It's like islands because everybody has found an umbrella to hang out. I will say a lot of Modelo and tequila shots are being consumed right now because there was a big win for Team Mexico. A lot of the people have actually moved underneath the covered portion of the bar here. But yes, this is the biggest sporting event the world has ever seen. The World Cup is underway. Guys, tomorrow's going to be a big night because the weather, this is all going to pass. We're going to have perfect weather for Team USA, and we're learning some of the details for tomorrow's first game for the Americans as they face off against Paraguay in Los Angeles. Country duo Dan and Shay will sing the national anthem, and the Paraguay duo Pura Hey Sol will perform their country's anthem. Ted Lasso star Jason Sudeikis, he will serve as the FIFA ambassador. That's awesome. There will also be a star-studded pregame concert featuring Katy Perry, Future, Tyla, and we'll see who else shows up for that big event. Also, two paths, one purpose. Tonight, Fox 6 presents the inspiring story of Milwaukee native Cam Will, a professional soccer player for the Milwaukee Wave, who's also a rising star on the music scene. As the world says, pick one. He's on a mission to leave a legacy in both.
When I see people sitting in the stands wearing his jersey, it is just like a moment where it does bring tears to your eyes because you're just really fascinated by everything that he is able to do, the community that he's able to touch, and then more so the message that he's able to portray.
Watch Chasing Goals, an Andrew Amuza report. It's tonight at 9, only on Fox 6. And look at this, the home bridge, ready for the World Cup. It will be lit up to celebrate the start of the matches tonight. So we'll have to see if they change colors for the countries that have won. But we're off to a very exciting start for Team Mexico. And of course, we have a very strong Mexican group here in Milwaukee. And so they were very happy. This was a sea of green. And there's a serious party happening in the covered portion of the Nomad World Pub. That's the latest underneath the umbrellas here at the fan zone. I'll throw it back to you guys.
I noticed the two South African fans, they were under an umbrella. Were they sharing that with the Mexicans after that 2-0 defeat? Or did they just split?
I did walk up to the South African. First of all, I said, how did you end up in Milwaukee? And he says he met a girl who was a Packers fan in Florida. And she did the natural thing where she said, you're getting reeled all the way to Wisconsin with me. And he's lived here for 7 years and he loves it. He didn't want to go on camera, and I haven't seen him in a while, so I think he split. There were two South African fans that I found out here tonight. But that's what's so exciting about the World Cup, because we're going to see people from around the world congregating at all these different watch parties all over the area, and so many good games here on Fox 6. It'll be a fun month that is ahead of us.
This is such a story pitch, Ben, our hallmark. He meets a girl from Wisconsin,
yes,
lured here, wrapped in the World Cup, and then they save the Christmas farm. The end.
She had a Packers jersey on tonight, which kind of worked because green is both South Africans' colors and Mexican colors.
Yeah, I was going to say, he made a lot of sacrifices for her. Okay, I'll move to Milwaukee. At least she could get a kit from South Africa. Come on, compromise.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
You meet all kinds of people and stories.
Life's
there.
all about compromises.
It's all about compromise. All right. Thanks, Ben Handelman from the Nomad. That's our World Cup headquarters.
I like your idea. I think they should open a Kringle factory.
Oh, yeah. Kringle factory, and she saves it.
Yeah.
Family business.
Perfect.
Decides to stay.
Hallmark. ... Hallmark in June.
Welcome back. Here's a live look outside. You can see the rain is starting to move in. This is Lake Michigan, and our Holly Baker is out in our weather truck. She's also starting to see some raindrops out there. Tom Wax is watching everything. He says the ingredients are out there for some severe weather.
And you might be wondering, is Jazz in the Park on tonight? It is on tonight. Communicated with Westtown Association a short while ago, so that is still a go.
All right, let's get out to Kenosha, which saw a lot of severe weather yesterday. Sam Kramer is hanging out there.
Sam, what are you seeing?
Hello there, guys. So we are parked on top of a parking garage just off of 54th Street. I don't know, block and a half, 2 blocks away from the courthouse. And what we're seeing right now, just barely, is it starting to sprinkle. And when I say barely, I mean you don't even need to use the windshield wipers just yet. We're looking out at the train depot here toward the west, where, I don't know, just within the last minute or so, we're starting to see a flash of some lightning as well. So whatever's coming this way is coming. We can see it. We've got eyes on it. Again, we're on top of a parking garage, so that if this does turn super severe, we can just scoot on down, be in a safe location, and hopefully maintain our look out at the west. Just as I was talking about the rain, it's starting to pick up just a little bit right now. And I had some shots here just set up. If you look, you can kind of look over at this tree. It's not super windy at this point, but again, looking at the radar, it is going to pick up here over the next half hour to hour. So I'll just put it back to this main shot. Yeah, there you go. Starting to see some of those raindrops here. Run the wipers for you. But again, we're here, we're ready, we're safe if we need to be, and just keep an eye on it. I will let you guys know if we start to see anything that turns severe. But Ted, Kim, send it back to you.
All right. Thank you from Kenosha County.
We have crews all over. We'll be checking in with them as the evening goes on. But right now, we're going to take a very short break. You're watching Fox 6 News at 4 on a rainy. Oh, it's cleared out the Nomad. The rain is falling so hard there.
And we can see that we are in for some more storms. How severe, that remains to be seen. Those clouds are really kind of moving in, and as the hour goes by, they're getting darker and more menacing.
Where are we in the whole scope of this thing? Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Tom Wax again. Anything changed since we last checked in with you?
Yes, a little bit. Things are getting a little clearer, guys, and the rain picking up. We got rumbling thunder across the area. Unconfirmed reports right now of maybe some fires being caused by lightning strikes, which would not be a surprise. There's a lot of lightning out there. Nothing severe, though, at this point. However, there is a flash flood warning south of Madison. Tornado watch Racine, Kenosha, Walworth counties until 9 o'clock tonight, and a flood watch for all of us until 11 o'clock tonight. So decent rain coming through, but here's what I mean by things are getting a little clearer. I've been calling this mush. It's my scientific, non-scientific term, right? Just a lot of rain coming through. But you'll notice here, watch how just in the last few frames, this seems to be congealing into a more solid line from Fort Atkinson to the southwest, and then another line to the northwest of Madison. And so it's going to be interesting to see how things start coming out of this mush, as I've been calling it here. Look at all the lightning, a lot of lightning strikes here. So we have this line segment northwest of Madison and this big cluster going from Fort Atkinson down to the south. Let me turn the lightning off and let's put this into motion. Do you see what I mean here? How it was just kind of this mush coming on through, but now we're starting to see some clarity here in terms of definition with these thunderstorms. So now the question becomes, there's nothing concerning that I'm seeing right now in terms of rotation or anything like that, but that will be the question now as we go through the next couple of hours, really until about 9 o'clock tonight, is do we see this continue to strengthen? Will most of that hit Illinois and not southern Wisconsin, or does all of this just kind of roll right into Milwaukee, which is certainly a possibility? And then this line here, do you see just in the last few frames what I mean by the clarity here? And then does this start to extend south, which we're seeing some indication of? So how does this all come into play, right? This is the cold front that's going to be coming through by 9 o'clock tonight. So we are going to have showers and thunderstorms through 9 p.m. The severity is still in question. Clearly, this is the area, even southwest of Chicago, that looks to be the most dangerous spot. They've got some sunshine there and more of the individual cells popping up. And that's where you're seeing the severe weather right now. But we're in this development phase, likely over the course of the next hour. But just in the last few minutes, I'm seeing more of that clarity. And now, I will tell you from the National Weather Service's standpoint, they are not anticipating that they're going to need to lift the watch north into Milwaukee unless something changes between now and then. So this watch is placed with the thinking that Illinois is going to get hardest hit from this, not as much Milwaukee. We still could see some flooding and we could still see some severe weather, but the bulk of the severe weather staying south in Illinois. But it all depends how those structures start to play out over the course of the next hour or so. 72 degrees, dew point 66, air pressure low, the rain and the rumble coming on through. Let's take a look at Sky Vision Plus. Let's talk more about this here. And as we go throughout our evening, see 6 o'clock where you're seeing more of that definition here. And so that's going to be the concern, is do we get any rotation out of that? How does this look? Or it could be heavy rain and flooding is our main concern with lightning and thunder. By 9 o'clock tonight, we dry things out, and then we have a lot of sunshine on the way tomorrow. So I think the big points are this. Number one, as of this moment, it looks like the worst of the weather will stay south in Illinois. I think we're going to continue to get clarity over the course of the next hour. Number two, everything is done by 9 o'clock tonight. Number three, tomorrow looks beautiful, and then a few more storms come in on Saturday. So again, it's a narrow window, Ted and Mary, through 9 o'clock tonight, but rest assured, Rob and I are both here, and we are keeping close tabs on that radar frame by frame. Back over to you.
Dew point number 3 again.
Dew point number 3?
Yeah.
The beautiful weather tomorrow?
Tomorrow's beautiful,
yeah. Amazing. Amazing and 80. Let's just focus on that.
Kim and I love to hear that.
Yeah.
All right. We have another batch of seniors that we're going to salute. I did that wrong, right? We're going to do a salute to
we'll
seniors.
Practice in the break.
We'll do it next. I'll get it right.
Thanks. Okay.
I'm new here. I'm so sorry.
Let's take a live look. We are also keeping a track of the weather. Our eye to the sky. We're back after this. And Jazz on the Park. Last check is on.
Is on.
Here we go. It's time for today's Fox 6 Salute to Seniors.
I think I'm getting it. We're taking time to celebrate graduating high school seniors, and why don't we start with a big congratulations to Devontae Carr Hopgood at Mesmer High School. Devontae plans on attending MATC for their carpentry program.
Cheers to Kirsten Miller at Westosha Central on her next adventure. Kirsten plans to study nursing and be a cheerleader at Purdue University.
The hard work is paying off for Andre DeVellier at Waupun Junior Senior High School. Andre plans to pursue opportunities in the workforce.
And we're thrilled to see Kylan Williams cross the stage at Horicon High School. Kylan plans on going to cosmetology school.
Caps off to Nassau Jr. at South Milwaukee High School. Masamba is heading to MATC in the fall.
And the tassel was worth the hassle for Kaylani Robinson at James Madison. This fall, Kaylani plans on studying nursing.
It's only the beginning for Jalele Claire Jama at the Real School. She plans to go to UW-Madison, our alma mater, Murph, to study biology.
And bring out the cap and gown for Armani Auto at St. Francis High School. Armani plans to enter the trades.
And let's give a big congrats to Danielle Morris at Menominee Falls High School. Danielle is heading to Waukesha County Technical College to become a labor and delivery nurse.
Kay Sheridan at Franklin, congratulations. She is going to study nursing at Carroll College University.
We wish all of them the best of luck in their new adventures.
And Fox 6 News at 5, right after these headlines from Fox News.
Good evening, I'm Griff Jenkins, and this is your Fox News report. President Trump is pausing strikes on Iran, citing progress in peace negotiations. Trump says final points have been approved by all sides, but the U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz will remain in effect until a deal is finalized. President Trump is nominating Jay Clayton to be the next director of national intelligence. Clayton, who is currently the U.S. attorney in Manhattan, would replace Tulsi Gabbard. His nomination comes as lawmakers stall an extension to a key spy power over concerns with Trump's previous nominee, Bill Pulte. The man accused of killing Minnesota state lawmaker Melissa Hordman and her husband now pleading guilty. Vance Belter changing his plea after federal prosecutors decided not to seek the death penalty. He also shot and injured State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Belter still faces state murder charges. Technology experts testify on Capitol Hill discussing AI and how it can help affordability issues. Most importantly, protecting American jobs and the economy as AI becomes more prominent in the workforce. And the world's biggest sporting event is finally here. Mexico winning the opening match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup against South Africa today in Mexico City. And remember, you can catch all the World Cup action right here on Fox. In New York, I'm Griff Jenkins. Have a great night.
With stories that matter to you, this is Fox 6 News at 5.
Our big story tonight at 5 is once again the weather, because our team is tracking strong to severe storms.
And this includes a risk for tornadoes. Our team is out in the elements, ready to go.
Let's begin, though, with Chief Meteorologist Tom Wachs and Rob Haswell, both in the weather office. And Tom, you say there's a tornado watch?
There is, although no threat at this point for tornadoes. This is really just rain, a lot of lightning and thunder, and the potential for some flooding at the moment. Let me show you what's going on with the tornado watch. This is in effect for Racine, Kenosha, and Walworth counties until 9 o'clock tonight. Flash flood warnings south of Madison. Now, at this point, there is no plan to extend the tornado watch north. Let me show you what's going on. It is soggy here with the rain moving on through. These thunderstorms are getting a bit stronger in our southwestern communities and also northwest of Madison. So we'll see how this all kind of shakes out. But right now, there's no immediate concern for severe thunderstorms. As you see with all the rain, I think the heavy rain is the greater threat right now and the potential for localized flooding. Let me zoom this out. Look at the lightning for you here. I mean, a lot of lightning and the potential that we've had some lightning-induced fires in the area as well. So there's going to be a lot of lightning and thunder with this, but let me turn the lightning off because you can see the general flow of this moving southwest to the northeast. Now, there's still the potential we could get more development here on the backside of this cluster of storms. If we do, some of those could be severe between now and 9 p.m. After 9 p.m., the front comes through and we are done. Let me broaden the view out a little more for you. I think Illinois gets hit the hardest out of this overall, with the greatest tornado threat down in Illinois, and that's why the watch is in effect farther down to the south. And you can see there are tornado warnings down there now in the central part of Illinois. That is moving northeast, but will likely head closer to Chicago than the Wisconsin state line. But here's the bottom line as it stands right now. Our southern counties under that tornado watch until 9 p.m. The greatest tornado risk is down in Illinois. And for our area specifically, the closer you live to the Illinois border, the greater your risk is for severe weather between now and 9. The farther north, the lower your risk is. However, with all the rain around, I do think we are going to have some areas of localized flooding. And there is still that potential we could get some stronger storms on the backside of this line between now and 9 p.m. Again, 9 o'clock is the cutoff, and then we're looking good. So the window really very narrow here, but rest assured, Rob is in here with me, and we are watching this minute by minute and second by second for you, and I'll have an update in just a few more minutes. But a lot of lightning and thunder moving through right now, guys. Back over to you.
Appreciate all of you, Tom. Thank you so much. All right, you ready to get out in it? Let's start with our Abril Preciado.
She is on the road heading towards Waukesha County. Abril, what are you seeing right now?
That's right, you guys. Just like Tom mentioned right now, we're actually heading towards Highway 94 towards Summit. And as Tom just mentioned, we are experiencing a lot of heavy rain along the road right now. We're heading towards Summit once again, as explained, where the fire crews from the Western Lakes Fire District is reporting 2 structure fires that they believe could have been provoked by lightning. Now, these are the structures that they are currently kind of battling right now, as you guys are seeing on the screen. We know that right now they were, at least from what we're learning from them, is that they're actively working on both scenes. One of them happened, the structure that you're seeing right now happened on, I believe, I'm losing my little notes right here because we're driving. But yes, one of them happened near La Belle Drive, and then the one that you're seeing on your screen happened towards Summit. So we're currently heading right now. We haven't gotten there. We still have a couple of minutes to go on the road to get there. But as soon as we do, we'll obviously provide you guys with the latest. Once again, I'm gonna just give you guys a quick shot of what we're experiencing here on the road. Again, the rain came down really heavy right now. It's a little hard to see right now. It's kind of slowing down right now, but as you guys can see, it is looking pretty rough out there. But yeah, we'll continue to keep you guys updated with the latest. Back to you guys.
From Waukesha County, Abril, thank you so much. Our Holly Baker, also out and about, continuing our team coverage.
She joins us live now in Walworth County. And Holly, where are you and what are you seeing?
Hi, I am just now getting on to downtown Delavan, so we're about to actually be heading west here on 11. So we're on the road 11. It's going right through downtown of Delavan. We're seeing a lot of heavy rain here in our area. I'll go ahead and show you what we're seeing on my camera. So this is just our front view here. A lot of heavy rain. At this point, the sky, you can't even see what shape the clouds are as well. It's just a lot of heavy rain that's falling. We're seeing a lot of ponding as well on the grounds. As you can see there, the roads are pretty wet. And then we're also seeing it's very gray and ominous out here. So overall, it's just a lot of heavy rain, not necessarily seeing anything more than that. We did hear some thunder here, and then we also, too, we saw a lot of lightning strikes. So I think that the storm has just now made it to Delavan's area, and we're continuing now to drive on. We're driving west on East Walworth Avenue, so this is exactly what our view is. So we're just driving carefully on with all of the rain here just on the roads, and it's a lot of rain, and it's kind of making the visibilities not as clear. So if anybody is going to be getting out on the road, I definitely would encourage them to drive slow or even pull over. We may even have to pull over in just a few seconds here because it is a lot of the heavier rain falling now.
All right, Holly, we'll check back a little bit later. Thank you. In the meantime, the American Red Cross is responding to today's severe weather.
Joining us on Zoom is Regional Communications Director Jen Warren. Jen, we appreciate you being with us. Yesterday, we saw a lot of people in Dodge County displaced. What is your role in helping them and helping anyone else displaced in yesterday's and today's storms?
Yeah, so yesterday we had established a shelter at the Horicon City Hall. We had 11 people that stayed overnight in the shelter and numerous pets. Our role is really to set up the shelter and provide safe, a safe, free, welcoming environment where people can come and have a place to sleep, have food, something to drink, and any type of basic health necessities until they are able to find alternative housing.
And what is your agency seeing in terms of the need and the ability to keep up with that need?
So the biggest areas that were hit yesterday for us that we were helping out in was Lomira and then Horicon. In Lomira, we saw an 8-unit apartment complex that was destroyed. We also saw a couple of businesses that had apartments above them in Horicon that had their roofs ripped off. And then we also saw some additional damage in Iowa County and in Dane County as well.
I can't imagine coming home and seeing the roof of my apartment complex ripped open. And my first instinct would not to be call the Red Cross. So how do people find you? How do you connect with them? Are you with law enforcement agencies? How do you find these people in their time of need?
Sure. So a lot of times fire departments will call us and let us know that they have, either a fire or they have something like this, a storm where there's property damage. And then our disaster action team volunteers will head out with them.
So where exactly should people turn if they need help? What's the easiest way for them to reach out and get some assistance?
So anybody that has been impacted by these storms can call 1-800-RED CROSS or go to redcross.org to get assistance if they've been affected by these storms.
Jennifer Warren with the American Red Cross, thanks for your time and thanks for what you and your wonderful organization does. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
You and I have covered enough fires and situations like this with severe weather, and they are there.
And it's like on the spot.
Just like that.
There. Yeah, wonderful organization. Help them out if you can.
Yeah.
Let's get into Sam Kramer territory. And right now, today, that happens to be Kenosha County.
Yeah, and Sam, what are you seeing right now?
Hi there, Ted and Mary. Well, as you guys were talking to Jen there from the American Red Cross, only now is it the rain kind of picked up, but also we're seeing individualized lightning strikes over the area. We are on top of a parking garage in the city of Kenosha, maybe a half mile to a mile west of the shoreline. Let me flip you around here so that we can see, you can see what we're seeing. This is a metro station that you see. We actually saw a train come through here within the last 30 to 45 minutes. But the skies have been really interesting. I would tell you the clouds have been almost more menacing when we got here, closer to 4 o'clock than they are right now. But every so often, we start to see those flashes of lightning. We have heard one kind of roar of thunder. But beyond that, and now the rain almost seems to be just kind of lightening up ever so slightly. So we're keeping eyes on this. Again, we are on top of a parking garage. If this does turn severe where we need to actually seek shelter, we're going to go down and do that. But do our best to keep eyes out to the west for you guys. And certainly if we hear or see anything locally, we're mobile and we can go get that to you. So right now it's okay. If it does worsen, we're ready if we need to be. Ted and Mary?
All right, great. We'll check back in. Sam, thank you for that. Also, a heads up if you are flying in and out of Milwaukee or know somebody who is, check flight status. There are more than a dozen flights have been canceled already. A majority do involve O'Hare, but there are others, of course. No doubt, as Tom mentioned earlier on Fox Local, you can admit or bet that our area will be impacted. All right, to our other big story now. A little bit more fun. World Cup is on Fox.
Mexico taking on South Africa in the inaugural match today. The U.S. set to take on Paraguay tomorrow night. Ben Handelman live at Nomad World Pub on Milwaukee's east side, Brady Street to be exact. Ben, What's the vibe like as people are dealing with the rain and storms? Are they all cleared out?
Oh, no, they have not cleared out just yet. Hey, guys, welcome here to the Nomad World Pub. They're calling this the Fan Zone. We just hit midnight in Johannesburg. It's 4 o'clock in Mexico City. But here on the east side of Milwaukee, it's still party time. Yeah, we got some light showers, but people have moved to the covered portion of the Nomad World Pub. And there is some salsa dancing I can see. And I'm not going to lie, there may have been some tequila's been ingested after that 2-0 win from Mexico. I want to show you pictures from earlier today because the weather was actually really great for when this game was taking place, and you can feel the energy. This is the largest sporting event the world has ever seen. This is going to go all the way through July 19th. The games are now just underway. We saw dogs and jerseys. It was a sea of green, mostly Mexican fans showing up to watch today's festivities. And we were live on the Wisconsin Live Desk when Mexico scored their second goal. Watch. Down the super secret passage.
Of course, we'd love that.
Or I can give you a tour. Yeah, that sounds good, right?
Okay.
Oh my gosh! What happened? What did I miss? What happened?
They scored a goal.
Okay, very soon.
Who's they?
Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. Okay.
And you know it was exciting because Ted started to snort, and that's a good sign that you can feel the energy. And as the FIFA World Cup kicks off, Fox 6 presents a special report into the life of Milwaukee native Cam Will. He's a professional soccer player for the Milwaukee Wave, but off the field, he's a rising star on stage.
I want to be the best at my passions, and I've come to terms with also what can come with that as I take those steps.
With one shot at greatness, two dreams are now demanding everything. So how is he answering the call? Find out by watching Chasing Goals, an Andrew Amuza report. It's tonight on Fox 6 News at 9. I can't wait for that. Guys, the opening ceremonies was held today. There will be more tomorrow and again in Canada. The ceremony today featured Mexican rock band Manya, Mexican singers Alejandro Fernandez, Belinda, Lila Downs. There was a Mexican